Things are all right. Okay. We are live for Everton against Manchester City. That's the game this afternoon. We've had an unbelievable week of football. We were live for 4 games yesterday in the Championship. And it was a really good day of Championship football. We were live from 12 o'clock to nearly 10 o'clock, starting with Derby County against Luton and finishing with Oxford United against Leeds. 4 big games that we watched, all really, really good fun. Had lots of people in the chat who were with us for the full day. It was actually quite a nice day of football. And obviously we've had a full week of European football as well. Spurs going through, United going through, Arsenal going through, Villa unfortunately not going through but playing very, very well against PSG at Villa Park. Massive nights. And unbelievable scorelines as well. Really, really good performances by some of the English teams. And look, we move on. We've got a Premier League weekend now to get stuck into. I'm going to start with Everton against Manchester City at Goodison Park, and obviously as well, beyond that, we've got another big game tonight, a really big game tonight, with 7th placed Aston Villa hosting 3rd place Newcastle at Villa Park, and there's only 5 points separating those two. So, a Villa win tonight, again, really puts the cat amongst the pigeons. I think a Newcastle win pretty much cements them as they've got Champions League for this year. I think Newcastle getting a win at Villa Park would be enormous. And Manchester City have to win this one, don't they? They come to Goodison Park today needing to get a win. Everton are in 13th place. They're not in any danger of going down. They're not in any danger of maybe challenging the European places. It's now very much for Everton about, can we say goodbye to Goodison Park in the right way? Can we say goodbye to Goodison Park in the right way? That's what's the priority for Everton fans right now. And, look, we've got a lot to watch out for today. There's some really interesting team news already coming out of the Premier League games. There's lots of other Premier League games starting today. West Ham, Southampton at 3 o'clock. Palace and Bournemouth, of course. Brentford and Brighton. That's a big one to watch at the Brentford Community Stadium. So we'll keep you updated on all those other 3 p.m. score lines. But we're going to be focusing on Everton against Manchester City at Goodison Park. I'm just catching up with the chat. Rubes, as ever, very much appreciated. The second comment is very much not appreciated, but thank you very much. No, I'm not supporting Everton today. No, I'm enjoying the footy. I'm not going to mention anything at all about who I'm supporting, but we all know that I want Manchester City to win. Do you know what? No, I don't care. If Everton win today, good on them. No problem. I don't like City anyway. So if Everton win, well done, Everton. If City win, then I'll be just as pleased because, look, I take pleasure in both of these teams getting beat. Caleb, score predictions for United against Wolves tomorrow. We'll be live for that one as well, by the way, Caleb. We'll be live for United Wolves tomorrow. It depends very much, I guess, on the team that United put out, but I really do fancy Wolves to get something. To take the air out of the United bubble. To really, really pop that bubble after Thursday night. We could do with Wolves getting something. Maybe even a win at Old Trafford. Just to deflate everyone again. That's what we want. So I'll be doing a hate watch. I'll be doing a hate watch tomorrow for the United Wolves game. You know it. Callum the Red 1-1 draw. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw today. Everton and City. You might be right. Victor Manuel, thank you very much for the follow. LZ, hopefully Amorim plays the under-21s for the Prem and focuses on the Europa League. Do we really think that's likely to happen? I'm not sure, I think there's going to be a lot of... I think there's going to be a lot of changes, don't get me wrong, but I still think that he'll put a strong side out. He can't afford not to. It would be insane for him to just kind of throw caution to the wind and play the kids. He needs to play a strong team. It's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks to the Bilbao game. You've got to get the players into a rhythm because that's the danger as well for Ruben Amorim is let's say he does put the kids out and he just focuses on keeping players fit. If they don't play much football for 2 weeks, maybe they lose a couple of games in the league. Maybe their mentality shifts. Maybe the confidence drops. That does happen when you lose games. Doesn't matter how you lose them, but if you lose games, confidence will drop in the team. And not to mention that, ideally, you want players, the players that will start the Bilbao game, ideally, you want them starting against Wolves to get a win, to get some rhythm. Because make no mistake about it, look, Man United win that game on Thursday night, and it's massive. Fine, yes, it's massive. But I think there'll have been a bit of an inquest as well. They conceded 4 goals to a team that's 22 points behind the leaders in France, a farmers' league, let's call it. A team that's 22 points behind PSG, and they conceded 4 goals to them when they had, they had 10 men as well. They weren't no great shakes, Lyon, and they battered United. They came from 2-0 down and they battered them. They were 4-2 up with 10 minutes of that game left. That has to be an inquest. There has to be an inquest off the back of that. So there'll be some, certainly defensively, I think the likes of Yoro, Maguire, Onana, Mazraoui, Dalot, those defenders they'll have some questions. They'll have some real, listen, we've got to tighten things up here. That will have hurt them a little bit. Dylan, maybe United win because they will be riding a high. Yeah, look, they'll be riding a high that they've got a win, but you've got to also remember the performance is going to be a big thing. Yeah, it is going to be a big thing that they'll remember that they've conceded 4 goals to a Lyon side with 10 men. Amram said he's going to play some younger players. I'm sure they will. No, I'm sure they will play some younger players, but I don't think it won't be like a totally unrecognisable Manchester United team. I think they'll still go quite strong. LZ, City are destroying Everton, I reckon 4-0, Marmouche, brace, let's hope for it. Yeah, let's hope for that. This might sound mad, but for the rest of the season, I say put Maguire up top. There's quite a few who are saying that. Yeah, there's quite a few who are suggesting that be the case. LZ battered us, yet they lost. Who cares how we played as long as we won, mate? Well, managers care, and players care. Like, you say who cares as long as you win. There is a way to win, and there's a way to lose. And if you're losing games like you did at Newcastle, for example, going to St James's Park and losing. No shame in losing to St James's Park. Tough place to go. You got battered 4-1. It's tough to accept. The same could be said of the Lyon game. Now, I think Amorim at training, any manager, not just Amorim, any manager off the back of that result on Thursday, if he went into training and said, yes, lads, what an unbelievable performance, what a great game, what an unbelievable... he'd be papering over the cracks. Any manager worth their salt would have been going into training on Friday, Saturday, going in and saying to the lads, listen, well done. You showed real resilience there to come back. It was an unbelievable turnaround. But the fact you got yourself in that position is outrageous. It's outrageous. It's disgusting. You were 4-2 down to 10 men Lyon with 10 minutes left. It went to extra time. How? How have you let that happen? You were 2-0 up and coasting. You didn't take your chances. You threw chances away. You gave them chances on a plate and you folded. You collapsed. As soon as Lyon scored that first to make it 2-1, you knew what was going to happen. It was coming. They folded like a cheap suit. LZ, yeah, I agree. He's done more than Højlund in 20 minutes. You can't put Harry Maguire up front. Listen, that's one surefire way. If all that putting Harry Maguire up front would achieve is 2 things. 1, Manchester United would be weaker defensively. 2, it would confuse everyone. Because they would be like, you've got Rasmus Højlund, who you've paid 80 million quid for, and you've put Harry Maguire up front. You would destroy Rasmus Højlund's confidence. Not only that, you'd probably by putting Harry Maguire up front, you would probably take 20 million quid off Rasmus Højlund's transfer fee. Whatever you would be getting for Rasmus Højlund this summer, assuming Manchester United try to sell him, which I think would be the wrong move, by the way, but let's say United do try to sell him. If they was to go, do you know what, we're gonna put I'm going to put Rasmus Højlund up for sale. If you've been playing Harry Maguire for the last 5-6 games of the season and he's been sat on the bench, any team that comes in for Højlund is going to be saying, you don't even think he's a striker. You're playing centre backs over him. He's not going to play at Man United, so automatically his price drops. LZ, I have hope for Xerxes. He might turn out well, but Højlund needs to be sold. He's horrible. I thought Højlund played all right the other night. Højlund had a lot of plaudits after that game the other night. Rubes, they folded worse than Bury FC. Oh, here we go. Sandals. I mean, that's an original name. Northern Bin Dipper. That's an original. That's an original shout. Hey, and Poverty Chance as well. Poverty Chance as well. Bin Dipper. What sort of nonsense is that? Have you been to Manchester recently? I'm guessing no, but have you been to Manchester recently? You might not be saying so much of that, mate. Sister Fister, come on, Everton. Even a draw would be funny. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I'd quite like either result today. Any outcome suits me. Any outcome at all suits me. Everton getting battered is hilarious. City getting battered is also hilarious. And if they drop points, then, it's bad for City, isn't it? Folded worse than Bury FC. I miss Bury. Caleb, I can't believe Harry Maguire wasn't trained to be a striker. He's class. There's lots of centre-backs who do sort of moonlight as a striker, aren't there? Lots of strikers who... And moonlight as centre-backs, vice versa. Dion Dublin did. Chris Sutton did have a spell, didn't he? I'm sure. Can't remember if John Hartson did. Who else was there? Strikers who kind of moonlighted as centre-backs. I mean, Steven Kolker. Steven Kolker signed on loan for Liverpool. I remember that. Steven Kolker signed on loan from Liverpool for Liverpool from he wasn't at Swansea. I think he was at QPR, wasn't he? We were desperate for a centre-back. We needed an auxiliary centre-back and we got one in on loan. Steven Kolker. At the time, he might have even been at Spurs, to be honest. I can't remember where he was when we got him on loan. But he was, he was well thought of. He'd played for England. His career had kind of gone off a little bit, and obviously it was slightly before he had the mental health crisis that kind of blighted him. But Steven Kolker came to Liverpool, and he played 2 games for us, and both games he played at centre forward. Jurgen Klopp sent him on as a centre forward. Dipesh Batter, finally, as a Spurs fan, let me have some glory in my life, please. I'm rooting for you, Dipesh. I'm really rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. I hope you do win it. LZ Højlund hasn't scored in how long, mate? He hasn't scored, no, you're right. And look, I'm not sitting here saying that Rasmus Højlund is like the best striker going, but I do think I think you've got to give him time. You've got to give him time. He was signed as Manchester United's main striker at 20 years old. You spent 80 million quid on him. You've got to give him a chance. Like, to me, what was it? He scored 16 goals. 16 goals in his first season for United at 20 years old. That's not a bad return. That's not a bad return. And since then, you've had, Ten Hag's kind of skewed the system a little bit. Amorim came in, and Amorim didn't really give him the vote of confidence he needed. He ended up playing Kobbie Mainoo up front. Now he's all about putting Harry Maguire up front. I think for Rasmus Højlund, he does need to leave Manchester United, but I'm giving you this warning now. I'm telling you, categorically, I will put my house on it, right? Rasmus Højlund will leave Manchester United, and he'll go on and do something. I'm not saying he'll be amazing. I'm not saying he'll be world class. But he will be one of those strikers, or one of those many, many players that have left Manchester United, and we've gone, they could have done with keeping him, really. He'd have been all right for them. Scott McTominay. I mean, Anthony, to a degree. Sancho left and went to Dortmund, started looking like a player again. We've gone through this before. We've done this loads of times. Chris Smalling, loads of players have left United in recent years, and all of a sudden, just like a light switch, become better players. It's not the players, it's the team. It's not the players, it's the team, it's the environment, and I really, really do think Rasmus Højlund is one of those players who needs an arm round him, needs a bit of support, and I think in a right environment he could be a reasonable centre forward. He's still only 22. He's playing for Denmark. Like, give the kid a chance. Liverpool for life, remember me? I do, mate. Yes, I do. Rubes, Gary Birtles, yeah. VVD would be like Zlatan's son. Ben, Chris Samba did it against us. Chris Samba, what a centre-half he was. Liverpool for life, remember me? Look at Eric Dyer, he was a midfielder, but then he went centre-back, that's true. Eric Dyer's having a bit of a renaissance at Bayern, isn't he? He was exceptional against Inter Milan the other night. Exceptional. He was brilliant. Got the goal, and he just a couple of clearances that he did as well. Looks a real... Again, I'm not over-egging the pudding. He isn't amazing, but he put in a hell of a performance at the San Siro. Ben, think Kolka came on loan from Southampton. It might have been, yeah. Hotspur Army 1882. Come on, you Spurs. I'm still buzzed. We're in a semi-final. And you're in a semi-final, by the way, that you are going to win. I'm telling you, you're going to win that. You've got Bodo Glimt. I think are you at home first leg? Or is it Norway first leg? I haven't looked. I'm sure. Am I right in saying you're at home first leg? Either way. You've got Bodo Glimt. And for the first leg, they've not got their two best players, Berg and Evjen. Both of those being out, it's a massive win for Spurs. You've got to now make the semi-final. You've got to. You've absolutely got to. DSKNR, DAS Games. I don't know what that means. Ben Twist, few things guaranteed. Death taxes. And Prem Dad back in Spurs and Rasmus Højlund. Rubes, Anthony, Rashford, De Gea. Well, yeah, there you go. Hotspur Army 1882. We're winning the Europa League. Think away first leg. Nice. Yeah, I mean, even if away first leg, that's all the better then, isn't it? Ed Rosenthal, Everton can win. I hope so. I'm just interested to see how the game goes, to be honest. Everton have give some of these top teams a game at Goodison Park this season. So, this is a big send-off for them. They're trying to do as many... big performances before the end of the year, before the season goes, and they have to say goodbye to the grand old lady. So, look, it'll be interesting to see whether or not they can. Hotspur Army Daz Games is a YouTuber. It's a new one on me. I'm not saying that to insult the kid, whoever he is. I don't know who Daz Games is. I've never heard of him. I'm sure he's incredibly lovely and more popular than I am. Let me have a look. Daz Games. Let me see if I can see him. Christ, 9 million. What are we saying? Are we saying I look like him? Is that what the thing is? I look like Daz Games. I'll take that. He's got 9 million subscribers, the kid. Ed Rosenthal 1-0. I hope not. We've seen too many 1-0s. I want some goals. I want a Premier League game with loads of goals. Hotspur Army 1882. He's a funny person, to be honest. I think I recognise his face a little bit, but like I said, actually, hang on. I think I do know him. Is he the was he the one who? No, I don't think it is him. Yeah, no. I thought it was someone. I thought it was one who was on. Was he on Vine back in the day? Ed Rosenthal 2-1. I'm not, as long as there's goals, I'd just quite like a game with a fair few goals in it. And we'll do predictions and everything as well, and we can see how we get on with predictions today. You'll have to let me know in the comments, by the way, what you're thinking. We've got Everton, obviously, against City. We've got West Ham against Southampton. We'll do a bit of a preview of all four of the games that are kicking off at 3 p.m. Everton against Southampton, Everton against City, West Ham against Southampton, right? How do we think West Ham Southampton goes? Southampton already down. West Ham, I mean, they were quite unlucky, weren't they, against Liverpool last week? Could West Ham get the win there? I think everyone's fancying them too. It's the first game that Southampton have without Ivan Juric, isn't it? Am I right in saying that? It's the first game without Juric. Or is it the second? Let me double check. The last game they had was Villa. I remember that. And they had, who was in charge? Rusk. Yeah, no, it's not the first game then. It's not the first game. Simon Rusk was in charge with Adam Lallana in the last one. Everton No Casuals wants goals for Everton. Oh, wants goals, goals for Everton. Well, I know, but who else are we going to watch? Who else are we going to watch? Let's be honest. If it's not Everton against City, then West Ham, Southampton, nothing riding on that. Brentford against Brighton. That was the only other one that I really considered. Brentford against Brighton would have been a good watch. And if it wasn't going to be them, then, I mean, Palace and Bournemouth, maybe. Yeah, Palace and Bournemouth would have been a good watch. Oh, here we go. Who's this? Who's this? Who's this? Hotspur Army. Why is the timer at 0-0-0-0? Because it's not kicked off yet. Ed Rosenthal, Man City have more players injured. Did he really? Your prediction versus City. I think it's going to be... It's going to be 2-1 City. No, 3-1 City. I think it's going to be 3-1 City. 1-2 is crazy odds, surely. Fulkrug and Bowen finish them off. Listen, I don't know who that is in the chat, but you need to ease up. That's not pretty.
There you go.
Oh, goodness gracious me. (4-1 City, 2-1 Everton. You think 2-1 Everton? It's going to be... I think it's going to be quite a close game. I think it could be quite a close game, yeah. Right. Get ready with Kieran. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's... Oh, listen, it's absolutely Kane. The rat. He's absolutely done me there. He's absolutely done me. Let me just send that to the wife. Fulkrug and Bowen finished them off. Palace, Bournemouth. Right, sorry, your prediction for this game. We've done that one, haven't we? Caleb, did you see the video I sent you? I haven't. Go on, let me have a quick look now while we're sat on the live. Before the game gets stuck in. I didn't see it, I don't think. To be honest, when messages come through to me, I don't know why, but they always seem to come through in that like message requests thing. So I have no idea who they come through from. And that just means they get muggled up in like ridiculously pretty AI ladies messaging me with one follower saying hello. And I always message back and they never message me back for some reason. He hasn't talked about United, so I don't know. Yeah, give it time. Joey Bar. Oh, here we go. He switched to his main profile now. He switched to his main profile. Right, listen. Finally made that get ready with Kieran page. Listen, forget that. Forget that. I'm not even focusing on that. That's done. That's done. We're looking at the team news here, right? So let's get focused on the team news. Not just with Everton and City. We'll look at the team news across the Premier League, right? So Everton and City lineups. Let me know what you're thinking. Everton, Jordan Pickford in goal, Jake O'Brien right back, Tarkowski, Branthwaite, Mikalenko. In midfield, Gay, Garner and Decore, with Jack Harrison on the right, Illiman and Dye on the left, and Armando Broja up front on his own. No Calvert-Lewin, no Lindstrom on the bench, Ashley Young, Nathan Patterson, McNeil, Keane, Irabunum, Coleman, Beto and Alcaraz. I still don't think Alcaraz signs for them permanently. There's a number of Everton fans keep popping up in the chat telling me they're going to sign Carlos Alcaraz. Moyes isn't playing him. Moyes isn't playing him. Oh, goodness me. It's actually not Kane, is it? It's actually not Kane. Unless he's doing it. That's cleverness from him. That's clever. He's on an iPad and a phone. That's what he's done. Listen, I'm not stupid. You know, I know the game. Ed Rosenthal, Aston wins or not? What do you think? For Villa and Newcastle tonight, I think a score draw. If I had to pick a winner, I think Newcastle might just edge it, but I think it's going to be a tight one. So I might, if I had to sit on the fence, I'm going to go 2-2. Villa 2, Newcastle 2. There'll definitely be goals in the game. At 1 second, Caleb, I will do. Manchester City's lineups is Ortega in goal. They've got Nico O'Reilly at left back, Gvardiol and Diaz at centre back, Nunes at right back. Midfield 3, I guess, of Nico, Gundogan, De Bruyne. Bernardo Silva on the right, Savinho on the left, and Marmoush up top on his own. They've got a Kanji back on the bench, which is good news for them. Doku, Foden, Grealish, Kusanov, Kovacic, Lewis and McAtee all on the bench. Still no Stones, Rodri, Haaland, Ederson or Ake for Manchester City. So they're good 5 or 6 players there that City have without going into this game. But I still think they've got enough to beat Everton, haven't they? They've still got enough to beat Everton, surely. Predicts wrong then says I'm not stupid. Listen, there's absolutely no way. Absolutely no way. Mind your own. Do you want to beat? Do you want to bet against us? Do I want to bet against you? Listen, I've not bet against Villa or Newcastle. I'd stay away from that game. FM No Casuals, I know one way to prove it. It's definitely not my missus. It's not my missus. I know one way to prove it. Go on. Enlighten me. We're not indulging that anyway. We're not indulging that here. We're here for football. Right. Let me have a quick check of the other team news that we've got going on today. So, West Ham, Southampton. West Ham, Areola in goal. Kufal, Sadibo, Kilman, Emerson. Soler and Ward-Prowse sitting. Bowen, Paqueta, Kudus and Fulkrug. Fulkrug starting. Interesting. Southampton have got Onuachu up front. Suleimana, Manning. Oh no, sorry, let's go back to front. Ramsdale in goal. Stevens, Bednarek, Harwood, Bellis with Walker, Peters and Manning. So they've basically gone with a back 5. Ugachukwu, Downs and Fernandez in the midfield 3 with Suleimana just off Onuachu. So miraculously, that actually doesn't look like a terrible Southampton side. Crystal Palace and Bournemouth. Let's see what they're shaping up like. For Bournemouth, Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal. Kirkez, Hysons, Abani and Smith. Adams and Scott in midfield. And then just behind Evan Nilsson is Ouattara, Kluivert and Semenyo. For Palace, it's Henderson in goal. Richards, Lacroix, Gahey at the back. Munoz and Mitchell, the fullbacks, with Wharton and Hughes sitting. And then Sarr, Eze, Mateta, as you'd expect, that front 3 causing chaos again at Selhurst Park. On to Brentford against Brighton, another game with European consequences at the Brentford Community Stadium. Flecken in goal, Coyote, Collins, Vandenberg and Lewis Potter at the back. Norgard and Yamalyuk sitting with Mbermo, Damsgaard and Sharda just behind Johan Wisser. For Brighton, it's Verbruggen in goal, Estupinan, Dunk, Van Hecker and Hinchelwood. Baleba and Mats Wiefer sitting with João Pedro, O'Reilly and Yankuba Minter behind Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbad. Mind your own, if we play like Tuesday against PSG, we can beat Newcastle. Absolutely. Look, if Newcastle play like they have in the last 2 games against City and against United and against Palace, if Newcastle play like that, I think they probably beat Villa as well. So you can't say. It's going to be a difficult game, I think, either way. Right, you've drawn me into this. You've forced me into this. We're not playing games now. Right, there you go. Sorted. FM No Casuals, I'm just doing a builder for Villa. Do you think so? Sorry, I know you are, but do you think Villa are gonna win? Mind your own, Barcelona will win the Champions League. Anyone but Arsenal for me. Anyone but Arsenal, that's all I'm bothered about. As long as it's not Arsenal. City. No Foden today. That's an odd one, isn't it? He's dropped Foden again. Nah, just for bet credits, shots on target, BTTS. Yeah, that's the way to go, I think, with Villa and Newcastle. That is the way to go. It's don't bet on the result. Just goals, shots on targets, maybe corners, maybe cards at a push. That's all I'd be doing on that game. The result's too unpredictable. It really could be any of the three. It wouldn't surprise anyone if Villa smashed them, Newcastle smashed them, or it was a score draw. They're all very much capable of it. Mind your own, if Arsenal win it, they finally lose their bottle job status. Well, not really. I don't think if Arsenal win it that they're not bottlers. Equally, I don't think if they go out that they are bottlers. I mean, we can call them bottlers because that'll be fun. Newcastle to win BTTS. I think Newcastle winning is... I do think that'd be a dagger to the heart of Villa, to be honest. Like I said, I think Villa need to just keep picking up points. There's not many games left of the season. Mind your own on their fan base, we can say it. Yeah, I just think Villa Newcastle's the big one later tonight. Everyone's rightly going to focus on that one. City and Everton is obviously what we're focusing on now. City, look, I think City really need to ease up with it. I think they need to ease up with it. The whole... One second. I'm getting peppered here. I think City, look, going into this game, City are... Where are they in the table? Are they fifth? Still in the top five, aren't they? The fifth, right? The fifth with a point ahead of Chelsea, a point ahead of Villa. A defeat here, even even a point here for City is maybe catastrophic. A point here is maybe catastrophic. Yeah, it is absolutely catastrophic. Because a point just kind of wrecks the top five, top six. Looking at Chelsea and Villa. Who Chelsea got this weekend? Chelsea play tomorrow, don't they? Fulham away. Chelsea aren't picking who's on 4:30 tomorrow is Liverpool. So that's the one we're doing tomorrow. 4:30 tomorrow we're doing Liverpool away at Leicester. And we're doing, in the 2 o'clocks, there's Fulham, Chelsea, Ipswich, Arsenal, and Man United, Wolves. And I thought Man United, Wolves would be better to do. What do you think? Or do you think we do a different one? I think Fulham, Chelsea, actually, that is the one to watch, isn't it? Maybe I'm getting a bit emotional with the Man United one. What do we think? I'll let you guys pick. The 2 o'clock tomorrow, Fulham, Chelsea, Ipswich, Arsenal, or Manchester United, Wolves. We need to have a think about what games we want to watch there. Who do you hate more, Man United or Arsenal? Man United, absolutely. It's not even close. It's not even close. I've no problem with Arsenal for the most part. I just think that the fans are a little bit deluded right now, and I think they've maybe because they've got these delusions of grandeur, having not won anything. Like, it would be kind of fine if they'd won a league title or won a Champions League. They've never won a Champions League. They've never won a league title, but they continue to insist that they're kind of sat at that table. That's the frustrating thing with Man United. United Wolves would be more entertaining. I think so as well. I mean, look, I would take the approach of we can have it and we can kind of switch between the two. But yeah, let's stick with United and Wolves. Why not? Fulham and Chelsea has definitely got the more riding on it though. Fulham and Chelsea is the game that has the most riding on it. But we will stick with United and Wolves. Leo, John, Manu, Joseph Vickers, score predictions for Everton v City. I think that Everton. Again, this is a little bit of a could go either way, but I still think City are the better team. City have got more in the tank than Everton, and even though Everton they're going to try and make a game of it, make an occasion of it, I think City will win this quite comfortably in the end. I'm going to go 3-1 or 4-1 City. Yeah. U-Ball JR, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate it. If I was to bet on goals now, I'd throw 4.5 on United Wolves. That's bold. That's bold. But yeah, that's what we're keeping an eye out for today. Obviously, is the Everton City game. We're going to be watching that. It's about 22 minutes to kick off as we approach that. Leicester City v Liverpool tomorrow. Can Liverpool lift the title tomorrow? Potentially we can, can't we? If Ipswich were to beat Arsenal. Ipswich beat Arsenal. Liverpool, we beat... Sister Fister, why do you never say make sure to follow? I don't know, mate. It feels a bit cringe, doesn't it? And to be fair, if I say make sure to follow as often as maybe I should say make sure to follow, I probably would have a lot more followers. If people like me, they'll follow. If they don't, then they won't. But I've got to be, maybe do a bit better with the whole self-promotion thing. Thank you for the reminder. I'll let you guys do it for me. Not every couple of seconds, you know what I mean, but you need to remind people. Do you reckon I should just get a sign? Just a constant sign. Just like that all live while I'm talking. Just holding it up and pointing. Maybe one of the shirts. Maybe I put like one of the shirts behind me as follow Premier League Dad. I need a neon sign, don't I? That's what all the YouTubers have. A neon sign. I could probably do one of them. Have an animation that comes up bottom left every time. Oh, that's far too technical for me. Christ, mate, I can only just keep the clock fucking running. You want me to start animations out? Christ. Keeping the clock running is a big enough challenge for me during the game. But I'll try and figure it out. If we get to a point where the channel is making even more than a penny or two, I'll invest in someone who can do the fancy animations. If you can stream, I'm sure you can do that. There's built-in animations. What are you streaming on? Streamlabs I'm on, and I'm not 100% sure I'm even using that right. But I somehow managed to get people on. Yeah, somehow managed to get people on there. But StreamYard, everyone says to stream on OBS. To be honest, I need to configure that. Could do with learning how to stream on OBS. But listen, anyway. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking about the top 6, top 5, let's say. Who do you think actually makes those Champions League positions now? Because it feels like it's getting tighter, ever tighter as we go along. It just feels like we're going through the season and every single game week that passes, we're getting more and more tighter with the points. There's nobody really pulling away. You know, we thought Forest were at one point. They've seemed to drop back into the group, into the pack. Newcastle now seem to be, but look, a defeat for Newcastle today against Aston Villa, and all of a sudden, again, they're pulling back into the pack. City today, if they were to get beat, and maybe Chelsea beat Fulham tomorrow, things can all change very, very quickly this weekend. So we'll be keeping an eye out on it. Let me know what you're thinking about it all. Sister Vista, you can learn anything using YouTube very quickly. That's true. To be honest, mate, it's just it's time. That's the thing. I spend that much time streaming or filming and then editing. It's it's difficult. Very, very difficult. How do we think Armando Broja gets on this season then? Or this summer, rather? Do we think Everton might take a chance on him? Because it feels like that's the real question mark hanging around Everton at the minute, isn't it? You've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who is still out injured. When's the last time Calvert-Lewin played? The last game Calvert-Lewin was involved in was Brighton on the 25th of January, and he played 13 minutes. Before that, he started and scored against Tottenham, but hasn't played pretty much since. So February, March, and most of April now he's been out. So Dominic Calvert-Lewin, is his future done at Everton, do we think? Is that him done and dusted? Do we think he has any chance of coming back? The rumours this week that Calvert-Lewin might potentially be interested in staying at Everton and a new contract might be coming his way. Is that a possibility? That's what we've got to have a think about as well. Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you. Yeah, I will do. I absolutely will do. Game will start in 15 minutes. It's at 3 p.m. UK time, so it starts then. Fritz, thank you for the follow. Jackson City get battered everywhere they go. Hey, listen, maybe Everton are the team to do that today. Wouldn't be surprising. No problem at all. No problem at all. We're just waiting for kickoff. We've just gone through the team news. I'm really intrigued, like I say, to see how this Everton team sets up today, because with Armando Broja up there, he's a little bit more mobile than any other Everton centre forward, isn't he? That seems to be why Moyes is preferring him to Beto, who has had a bit of a purple patch since Moyes has come in, hasn't he? I think Beto's maybe a little bit hard done to, being dropped. The fact that Broja has just got back fit and has immediately come back into the side, I think it's probably reasonable to say he's a better striker than Beto, but Beto's had good form, and you would hope that he would earn that and would stay, or would stay in the team. Haaland should be laughing in games like this for 500k a week. I bet we won't even score. Chimiti is good. Chimiti's not even on the bench today, is he? Is Chimiti on the bench? Yeah, no Chimiti either. Where's Chimiti? Not even in the squad today. That's an interesting one. He misses too many chances. Haaland's not even playing though, is he, mate? Haaland's injured. He's out for the season. Beto misses too many good chances. I think Beto has been a bit of a shining light though since Moyes has come in. He's, like I say, I think the good things that Everton have done since Moyes has come in, Beto's been a big part of. So it just feels, even if he's not thought of as long as a long-term option for Everton, which that's fine, it still feels to me a little bit unfair, a little bit harsh to be taking him out of the team for a player who hasn't pulled up any trees either. You know, Armando Broja's come in on loan. He got injured fairly quickly. He didn't do an awful lot when he's played. Again, maybe you could say he's the better player, but I don't know. It just feels a bit mad to me that we're dropping players. They're dropping players just for the sake of sticking Broja in when maybe it's a case of them seeing how Broja could be because he might be one they take a chance on in the summer. I wonder if it's that. I wonder if it's, do you know what? There's a deal in place for Chelsea to maybe we could get him permanently, and if he starts between now and the end of the season, he starts getting some good minutes and he starts looking like a decent player, we might take the chance on him if we think he can stay fit. Whereas Beto, we already know that's his limitations, that's his ceiling. He's never going to get better than that, and we know that we need better. So maybe we move Beto on. Maybe Calvert-Lewin, maybe he's going. That's already been decided too. Chimiti, still needs a little bit of time. Broja's maybe the unknown quantity. Is that fair to say as well, do we think? Leo John, what team do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. I'm a Liverpool fan, so this is going to be something of a hate watch. I'll be honest with you. It's going to be something of a hate watch. I hate both of these teams, Everton and City. Don't love them, so yeah, it's going to be a bit of a hate watch if you want to stick around for that. Brendan plays prediction for the match. I think it's going to be a comfortable City win. I think 3-1. 3-1 City. DJ Broja is top. He just needs to stay fit. I know that's been a problem for him throughout his entire career, hasn't it? He never stayed fit at Southampton either. He looked quite good at Southampton when he was there, but he always had little niggles. He was in and out the side, couldn't really get runs of games going. Then he went back to Chelsea. It was the same again, big injury. Ipswich wanted him, and then they weren't quite sure given the injury, so they pulled out of the deal. That's how he's ended up at Everton. It's the same sort of thing. I just wonder if maybe this is Everton seeing if he's right for them ahead of a potential move, and it's almost like a trial. Leo John, I'm a Man City fan. Good stuff, mate. Listen, all welcome here. We have City fans, United fans, Liverpool fans, Everton fans. Everyone dives in the chat. It's all good fun. Gaz, where's your mate Cherky? You chilling with him today? Yeah, he's down here, mate. He's chilling. He's sat next to me. He's coming Liverpool next summer. He's gonna score when we beat United at Old Trafford again. Do that every year. Newcastle. What about Newcastle? Brendan, how do you feel about Núñez leaving? I'm a bit mixed. I guess a bit mixed about Núñez. A bit gutted. Because I think he's a good player at the heart of it. I kind of feel about Núñez the way that I feel about Højlund at Manchester United. I've said the same all in the build-up to this game. We've been chatting about United, and I think Rasmus Højlund falls into the category of United will sell him, he'll go somewhere else and kick on because a manager will give him starts. The same could be said of Núñez. I think he's got a lot of ability, a lot of quality, and unfortunately at Liverpool, he's just not had a manager that'll start him regularly and put the faith in him and say, you're starting, doesn't matter what happens today. If you score, great, you're staying in the team. If you don't score, if you miss a hatful of chances, you have a shocking game, you're back in the team tomorrow, you're in the team next week, you're getting that. Like, you need someone, just for a little bit, I'm not saying forever, Liverpool are a top club, there's obviously got to be competition, But I think Darwin Núñez is one of those players who needs an arm around the shoulder and needs a manager who believes in him and says, you're our centre forward, you're our number 9, the team is counting on you, we need you to step up and do your business every week. And if you get it wrong today, if you play poor, it's fine, because we trust you, we know you're the absolute nuts, we're going to play you again next week. And you're going to get a run of games. It's never really been like that for Darwin Núñez. He's kind of been in and out the side every 2 to 3 games, I think. And whenever he's had big moments, and he has, by the way, he's had big moments, the following week, he's never quite followed it up. He has been a little bit inconsistent. So, I'm not totally blaming Klopp or Slot or the club or anything like that. Darwin Núñez hasn't done well at times. He's not taken his chance. But I think there's enough quality there. We've seen moments from him where you look and you think, wow, like the finish that we saw from Núñez at St James's Park when he scored the 2 goals to win it at St James's Park for us with 10 men. They are 2 unbelievable quality finishes. Like top centre forward finishes. The chip against Brentford away. Unbelievable finishes. Outrageous finishes. He's got that in his locker, and it's almost when he doesn't have to think about it, when he just does it like instinctively, he scores goals. When he doesn't, when he has time, he's all over the place. Rasmus was shit. I'm a United fan. Rasmus needs time, mate. Rasmus is 22 years old. He joined United when he was 20. It takes players a few years to get going. I think he needs time at United. Sister Fister, I could imagine KDB in Miami. I hope not. I hope KDB stays. There's been rumours De Bruyne might even stick around, and Liverpool have been linked with him. That'd be mad, wouldn't it? If De Bruyne ends up staying in the Premier League and we see him playing against City next year. Jamie, does anyone know any free websites? Google's free. I've never had to pay for that. Right, we're approaching kickoff. Goodison's full. Goodison is full to the brim, ready for a big game of Premier League football. Yeah, old PSG kit, I rate that. Cheers, mate. It's got Ronaldinho on the back. 2001 kit, I think it is. FM No Casuals. Everton's new ground looks like a generic FIFA stadium. Yeah. Looks like the... Oh, bloody hell. I had that joke lined up then. What's the FIFA stadium called? What's the one the one that everyone gets? For some reason, the Trad Brick Stadium came into my name. But the Trad Brick Stadium is the Pro Evo name for Old Trafford, isn't it? The Pro Evo names for stadiums was brilliant. It was Trad Brick Stadium for United's. It was Red Cauldron for Anfield. What were they called? I think KDB will go to Saudi. I think Saudi is probably the place he will end up, but I hope he doesn't. I just think he's too good to go to that league yet. No, they aren't the stadiums I'm on about. I'm on about the generic ones. The 1 second. Generic. Here we go. Right, there's there's Court Lane, Crown Lane. It's not them. It's not East Point Arena. It might be that one. Euro Park, Ivy Lane, no. Moulton Road, Odromo, Stadion Europa, Town Park. think it's East Point Arena, isn't it? East Point Arena, that's the one. It might be Sanderson Park, you're right. SLS16, hello, good to have you in, mate. Harry Maguire, what a man. Every time people write him off, he just does something like that. I like I said, I like Harry Maguire. I was saying on the live, before he scored the winner, I was saying on the live that I think Harry Maguire gets a tough time of it from Man United fans and often other clubs' fans. Because they paid 80 million quid for him. That's not his fault. And he was obviously never going to be an 80 million pound defender. But I do think he's better than some people give him credit for. And obviously he pops up with goals like that, important goals as well. The bastards. SLS16, do you think City are winning today? What's your prediction? I do, mate, yeah. I think City will win quite comfortably. I think they're going to win 3-1. 2-1 or 3-1. But it's very much a hate watch for me, this. I don't like either side. I'd like, if it was possible for both teams to lose this, it would be amazing. But I imagine City will win it. If Everton do win it, then great. That gives me, I'm happy enough with that as well. Maguire's the same as Onana, scapegoated to heck. Yeah, I think that's fair. That's absolutely fair to say. And again, look, people who've been in the lives enough will know that I said nice things about Andre Onana as well. Andre Onana, I think, needs a bit more time. He was quality in an England shirt. He's definitely one of those players who thrives playing for the national team, doesn't he? Yeah, we'll never 80 million for him, but when he goes, I wish him the best. I think he's been a good leader as well, hasn't he? A good captain for Everton during that time. Right, here we go. We're just approaching kick-off. Again, we'll go through the lineups. Pickford in goal. O'Brien, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Mikalenko at the back. Garner, Gay and Decore in midfield. Jack Harrison and Dye just off Armando Broja up front. That's the Everton lineup. Everton no casuals. It's the same at some jobs. You get people blamed for everything just because they're a bit clumsy. I mean, sometimes you get people blamed for stuff at jobs just because their face just doesn't quite fit. Sometimes that happens as well, doesn't it? They don't like you. Don't like you, therefore it's your fault. Or sometimes because you're too nice. That's another thing as well. You get if you're too nice, therefore it's easier to blame you because we know you won't kick up a fuss. Manchester City's lineup here in net. It's Ortega, Ederson out injured with the groin injury that he picked up in the win against Palace. Back four of Núñez, Diaz, Josko Gvardiol tucking into centre half today, and Nico O'Reilly. What a revelation he's been since he's come into that City side. Midfield of Ilkay Gundogan and Nico Gonzalez, with Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne just in front of those two, and Savinho on the wings with Marmoush in front. I don't know whether it'll be De Bruyne or Silva that drift out wide. I guess they'll take it in turns. But Marmoush is your sole centre forward today. Phil Foden dropped. Rico Lewis, James McAtee, Akanji back on the bench for City. Some big pluses there, but be interesting to see how it goes today. Ed Rosenthal, when skies are grey, spoke from the harbour. Let's go Everton. Listen, Everton, I've got a big test today. City are still the champions. It's going to be an interesting game. Very, very interesting game. Olivia, thank you for the follow. Ans22, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I've got a real question out of curiosity. Which player did you grow up with? My favourite player growing up, and the reason that I am in love with Liverpool Football Club, was always Robbie Fowler. Absolutely adored Robbie Fowler. My hero. The first videotape I got bought was Robbie Fowler's Hot 100, which is his first 100 goals for Liverpool. And I treasured that tape. I could literally tell you in detail now every single one of Robbie Fowler's first 100 goals. He scored his first He scored 5 against Jim Stannard. That was the goalkeeper for Fulham. Scored 5 in one game when he was 18 years old. The guy was unbelievable. He was a sensation. And I always had a dream growing up that I was going to make it as a Premier League footballer. And just as Robbie Fowler was retiring, obviously Michael Owen was coming through, and I thought, you know what, just as Owen's retiring, I'll be coming through. So it'd be a nice little continuation. Never worked out. I don't know why I felt the need to tell you that. Obviously, you'd know. Right, we're approaching kickoff now. Just about approaching kickoff. James Garner's going to kick us off. And we're off. We're off and underway. SLS, so you used to play football. I did. I played football very, very regularly, actually. You wouldn't think it to look at me, but I did, yeah. I played football very, very regularly. And then, I mean, as a lot of people will tell you, you get married, you get older, you have kids, as I did as well, and, you know, all of your other mates who you played football with, they get older, they get married, they have kids, and it becomes a lot harder to arrange a 5-a-side, or a 7-a-side, or an 11-a-side, or get a team together, or any of that sort of stuff. It becomes incredibly difficult. Because everyone's got plans and you need like 6 weeks notice to do anything. So yeah, you just tend to meet up with your mates as and when you can, go and grab a drink as and when you can. Yeah, what was one of Ian Rush's best traits, would you say, mate? Rushy? I mean, I always thought Ian Rush was his movement off the ball was always fantastic. 42, Everton, what have you got for me? On what good luck City? Well, we're a minute or so in. The ball is down the left-hand side. City have got a throw-in just outside the Everton penalty area. Any planes? My name is Vian. Nice. Vian, is that Vian? Vian. Nice. Good to have you in the chat, Vian. Premier League dad minus our team's rivalry. I think you're a top guy. Cheers, mate. I think you're a top guy as well. Watch a bit more of me, you might change your mind. You might yet change your mind. But we'll see. Throw into Everton down the left-hand side here now. Mikalenko, back to Branthwaite, back to Pickford. City pressing quite high. Bro, show the match. Bro, show us the match. Guys, listen. Do you really think I'm stupid? If I showed you the match, the channel gets banned. Like, if I could show you the match, I would. Believe me, it's not me being a funny ass. If I could show you the match, I'd show you the match. I can't show you the match. City are in here now, unlucky. You is Geordie. No, I'm not Geordie. No. It's quite a distinct difference between Geordies and where I'm from in England. Bro, I am fine. Nice. Stop it. Stream somewhere else and get banned. I would get banned straight away. It's not worth me doing. Sister Fister, you should add commentary to the streams as background. I saw a lot of people do it now and it's fine. I mean, I can turn the volume up a little bit. You can hear that, can't you? Ish. There you go. A little bit of that. 42, any bets on? Yes, I have got bets on. I've got City to win here, but I've got City draw no bet. So, if City do manage to get the win, then great. Obviously, I get the win. If it's a draw, then no problem. It just comes off my slip. Any Pians, you is okay? Yes, Vian, I am. I'm okay. I'm good, thank you, mate. I hope you're good too. Thank you for coming into the chat. Heikel Pengen Tobat, thank you for the follow. Reese up the toffees. Brentford are in already. Johan Wisser, great save. Great save by Verbruggen. Brentford very nearly going 1-0 up there against Brighton. Johan Wisser probably with a, maybe not a tap in, but he's on the penalty spot. He's got no one near him. He should finish that, Wisser. He really should finish that. By the way, my name is pronounced Wire. Wire? Okay, Wire. I'll remember that. Thank you very much. Harry Maguire is the best centre-back. Harry Maguire! Johan Wisser needs to go to a bigger club, I think. I mean, Johan Wisser was linked with Forest, wasn't he? That was his... He was very, very near to moving to Forest in January. Harry Maguire, Kane Talks Football, put me onto your channel, love the content. Cheers, mate, thank you. Not why ya, it's why I. Oh, why I? Why I? As in like a Geordie, why I? We'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look. Here we go, West Ham and Southampton. West Ham might be ahead here. Nicholas Fulkrug with a chance. Oh, great save by Aaron Ramsdale. Great save. Fulkrug nearly putting West Ham 1-0 up. I love that saying, Reese. That is one of the best footy, like, you can use that on so many things. We'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look. It's the one good thing Steve McManaman's done as a pundit. Why, then the sound of a caption. A. Y-A. 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 Okay. Okay, I've got you. Y-A. Oh, as in I'm actually saying the letters. Y-A. Okay. Alright, mate. I'll remember that. City having a nice little spell of possession here. Ball over the box. Here we go. Chance. Ooh, just a bit heavy. A little bit heavy. Matheus Nunes was running in at the back post. Reese, Ramsdale is a poor man's Raya. Ramsdale has just had a real fall off in his career, hasn't he? Ramsdale to me is a lot like Jordan Pickford, I'll be honest with you. Brentford 1, Brighton 0. There you go. Brian Mbeumo has scored. Brian Mbeumo puts Brentford 1-0 up. That's a big goal. That's a really, really big goal. Very surprising. That guy, Jack562, I need an Everton win. I have Pickford and Beto in FPL. Beto's not playing, mate. Beto's not playing. Why, I tell you, Summit, I love this. What Cammy said, I'll always love it. Unbelievable, Jeff. Yeah. For me, whenever I think of Cammy, I always think of that one when he went to Jeff Stelling went to him and he said, oh, Everton are very nearly in at the back post. Jack Harrison kind of got in each other's way. Hell of a crossfield ball from Mikalenko. Stood it up to the back post. Jack Harrison's running in, and he's kind of at the edge of the 6-yard area. Let's just watch this back. Illiman and Dye originally plays it out to Mikalenko. Hell of a ball, that from Mikalenko. Oh, do you know what? It's Breuer. Oh no, it's Decore. It's Decore and Jack Harrison getting in each other's way, and you can see Jack Harrison screaming, because if Decore leaves it, Jack Harrison maybe, he might volley it, he might header it, but he gets something and he'd get a shot on target there for Everton. Decore gets in his way, the ball goes out for a goal kick. That guy, Evan and Beto. Yeah, the thing that I always think of with Cammy, the thing I always seem to think of is when Jeff Stelling goes to him. I think he's away at Portsmouth, isn't he? Goes to the Port. He's punditry on commentating on Portsmouth and Might be Bolton. And Jeff Stelling says, Cammy, there's been a red card in the game. There's been a red card in the game. What's going on? That was the one. Yeah, that's the one, Reese. There's been a red card in the game. And Cammy's like, has there? Red card? I've not seen one. Stelling says to him, what's going on, Cammy? And he just laughs and goes, I don't know, Jeff. Absolutely unbelievable. He's great, Cammy. Nico O'Reilly there, wrestling with Jack Harrison. It's gone out for a goal kick. Right, let's have a quick look at this Brentford goal. Fabulous ball forward from Damsgaard through to Mbeumo, and he runs clean through on goal and just slots it past Verbruggen. Brian Mbeumo has to leave Brentford this summer. He has to. He's so good. I'd love him at Liverpool. I don't know if is it Damsgaard or is it Lewis Potter? It might be Keane Lewis Potter who passes it through to him. It's a hell of a finish. Let's just have a look. One touch out of his feet. Straight through the two centre-backs of Brighton. Straight through the middle of them. Right foot opens his body up. Straight into the bottom corner. Wonderful goal for Brian Mbeumo. And Brentford are 1-0 up. Fabulous. YA, which one, mate? We should get in the grounds reporting. This is class. I rate it. I'm not sure I'll ever get that good, mind. And Jai just getting a couple of chances there. It's just gone straight through to Ortega, but Everton knocking it long. He is sports legend, and Mbeumo's coming to United. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I certainly think he'll get a move away from Brentford this summer. He's too good not to. He's had a fabulous season again. Lewis Potter came from Hull City. Crazy to think. Yeah, Keane Lewis Potter's one that I think is growing, isn't he? He's kind of getting a lot more attention recently. Gloria Rinker, thank you for the follow. If Mbeumo goes to United, it's a downgrade. Yeah, you could say that, couldn't you? So that goal is the 14th goal that Brian Mbeumo has scored in this season. 14 Premier League matches that he scored in for Brentford, and only Mohamed Salah, Alexander Isak, Chris Wood, and Erling Haaland have scored in more games. So, in terms of actual goal contributions per game, there's only those four had better seasons than Brian Mbeumo. Haaland, Isak, Wood, and obviously Mo Salah. So, exceptional, really, from Brian Mbeumo. He really does belong in the elite, I think. Still a very, very good player. 42, and I want to see higher up. I think he's one hell of a player. He's a likeable player, isn't he, Illiman and I just think he needs to contribute more, though. That's the problem. He's so tidy on the ball. There's a lot to like about him. You know, again, even as a Liverpool fan, I look at Illiman and I think, yeah, he's a good player, really good player, good find from Everton. Can see why they like him. He just has too many games where I think he drifts. Too many games where he maybe doesn't contribute and he can be a bit anonymous. And it's them games that are going to cost him. Whoa! I tell you what, there's a potential penalty claim there. Savinho, he's a potential penalty here. There's a potential penalty. The ball got swung in from Kevin De Bruyne. Savinho is running in at the back post. If he gets a connection on it, it might be a shot on target, maybe even a goal. But he's running through. I don't know who it is who drags him. Is it Jack Harrison? He's screaming at the ref, Savinho. He's screaming. He's saying it's definitely a penalty. The referee plays on. He did do a quick VAR check. There was a quick VAR check, but it's no penalty. Jack Harrison there, tracking back, nearly dragging down Savinho. But yeah, I think Ndai, he's got 7 goals and assists in the Premier League this season. Combined, 7. Which is the same as Adama Traore, who is Fulham's backup right winger. That's the kind of, you know, if you're putting them in categories, Adama Traore is not an Iliman Ndiaye, and yet he's got the same contributions to him as him this season. mostly from the bench. That's the difficult pill to swallow for Iliman Ndiaye. Has to do better next season. And I don't think you can be too critical of him in this Everton side, given that most of the season it's been under Sean Dyche. It's a tough watch, hasn't it? It's been a really tough watch for Everton this season. But since they've had Moyes come in, it feels like they're taking a few more risks going forward, a few more chances. And maybe next season with a more front foot attitude, they could potentially get more from him. Nunes with a shot. Whoa, good save by Jordan Pickford. Corner. It was a fabulous shot from distance from Matthias Nunes on his left foot. Weaker foot. Just cut inside, opened his body up. Just a low shot. It was a daisy cutter. And it wasn't quite in the corner. It wasn't right in the corner, but Pickford had to get down low and push it wide. So it's a corner to City. That guy, Jack, I hope that City lose today. Chelsea get their win v Fulham. Don't want City in the Champions League. Maybe. I think Chelsea will struggle against Fulham tomorrow, I've got to be honest. YA, we're rumoured to want Semenyo in the summer, and Verbruggen is also on our radar as well. I don't rate Verbruggen. There's loads of people telling me Verbruggen and Flecken have been good this season. Every time I've watched them, they've had shockers. Reece haven't been a big club since Ferguson left. Listen, United are always going to be a big club, mate. I'm saying that as a Liverpool fan. They're always going to be a big club. But you're right in that they've not competed for a title since Ferguson left. You know, it's 12 years now, 13 years, whatever it is. They've not competed for a title since then. So you could argue, they're not competing at the highest level for over a decade. I'd probably agree with you on that. But it's funny, though. It's funny that in the last 10 years, they've still won far, far more than I think everyone bar Liverpool and City, haven't they? They've still won pretty much the third most behind Liverpool and City. They've won FA Cups, League Cups. They've won Europa Leagues. They've won... they've gone far in competitions. They lost the Europa League final as well, don't forget. And may yet lose another one this year with a bit of luck. 42 rival fans better pray United don't get back to true glory soon. It's going to be unbearable. Oh God, I know you're going to be the new Arsenal, aren't you? If United ever did manage to get their act together, it'd be unbearable. Kane, thanks for sharing the live. YA Real 2024, we won the FA Cup. Just waiting to explode. Let's just watch this penalty claim back again. It's a dive, that. I'm sorry. I actually don't mind Savinho, but that was a dive. That was a clear dive at the back post. And you can usually tell with players, can't you, when they react like that. When they really, when it's just a little bit of a reaction. You know, sometimes you think they're play acting. But when they're really, really kicking off, when they're, slapping the floor and they're, chasing the referee, you do sometimes question it in your own mind and think, Christ, they must really think it's a penalty. It must be a penalty. There must be something in that. But I just watched that back then. It's a dive. It's a dive. I don't know why they do it anymore with VAR. There's no way VAR's getting involved in that. No way. That guy Jack, I took Evan Nilsson out of the FPL last week and he proceeded to score 2. Yeah, he's another one to watch. Oh, that's really poor from Flecken. Really poor from Flecken. Is there a penalty for Brighton? There's definitely going to be a check. Flecken with a horrendous error in goal for Brentford. And Welbeck pounced on it. And there might be a penalty for Brighton there. It's going to go to a check. There's a VAR check. Unbelievable, shocking piece of play from Mark Flecken in goal at Brentford. I don't think that's a penalty. That's not a penalty. That's not a penalty. And VAR's cancelled it as well. VAR said no penalty. Thank God for that. VAR seemed to find some sense today. Whew. Don't forget, by the way, if you're in the live, if you're watching, I don't know where you're watching this, but if you're watching this, we're live on TikTok, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch as well. If you get the chance, go and give us a follow, go and give us a like, go and give us a subscribe on YouTube. All of that makes a massive difference to the channel. We're live again straight after this game for Aston Villa against Newcastle at Villa Park. We're live tomorrow as well for Manchester United against Wolves. That's going to be another hate watch. Come on, Wolves. And followed by that, we'll have Leicester City against the mighty, the champions of England elect, Liverpool, at 4:30. So we're live for a couple of games tomorrow, a couple of games today. We might yet be live for even some more. I might do an impromptu La Liga game or something. I've looked at Las Palmas against Atletico Madrid tonight. Looks tasty. YA, I hope Arsenal don't win the UEFA Champions League. They're a joke. They'll go on about it forever. Absolutely. I hope so. I really hope they don't win it. I'm rooting for anyone other than Arsenal, to be honest, in the Champions League. And the same could be said in the Europa League and the Conference League. Anyone but Arsenal, anyone but United, anyone but Chelsea. Jack Harrison down the right-hand side. He's offside. Offside. 42, do you have a top 3 of footballers you hate? I probably do, yeah. Probably. I just don't really... Footballers that I hate. I never liked Raheem Sterling. I never ever liked Raheem Sterling. Joe Cole's probably up there as well. I don't know. There's a few. I can't really say. Like Man United, I've hated some of their footballers over the years as well. But it's mad with United. It's really mad because some of their players that I hated, when they've finished their careers and they've gone on to become pundits, they're really likeable. That's what I find like irritating. Like Wayne Rooney, when he was younger, there's some of the stuff that he got up to. Just what an absolute numpty. Like, what an unbelievably annoying guy. Even though he's a great footballer, just no. And he whenever I watch him on a show or whatever, I just find him really quite likeable. Obviously, he's not a brilliant manager, but I just find like a lot of what he says quite relatable and quite likeable. And the same could be said of like Gary Neville and Roy Keane, players and other United players I grew up hating. Roy Keane, Gary Neville, Paul Scholes. The only United player I really don't like that you would class as a legend is Ryan Giggs, for obvious reasons, just because I think he's got to be an absolute bell to do what he did. Paul John, hoping Man City drop points here. I'm a Newcastle fan and those Champions League spots are going to be close. Absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. It's going to be really tight. We'll be watching Villa and Newcastle later, mate, so that one's going to be an interesting game as well. See what happens there. Richarlison has to be in the... Oh, Richarlison. Yeah, Richarlison is, but again, Richarlison, I feel like he's had a rough ride of it, Richarlison. Like, he was so cocky and arrogant at Everton, wasn't he? He got the big move to Spurs, and he's been put right back in his box. Nobody thinks of Richarlison as a top Premier League player anymore. He was once Brazil's number 9 and all this. Like, he's had a real fall off, and you know he's come out and talked about how he's suffered with it mentally and all that. So it feels really quite raw to say I hate him. I just think he's a guy going through a really rough time. So no, I don't think Richarlison's one. I would say. I love Maupay. I love Neil Maupay for what he did to these and the way he approaches the Twitter and everything. I love Maupay for that. He's a proper rat bag, isn't he? 42, I'll give you mine. Sancho, Emmy, and Bernardo. Yeah, listen, there you go. There's one of mine. Bernardo Silva. Yes, Bernardo Silva is a rat, but I love him as a player. If Bernardo Silva is the one player, I'll go this far, is the one player for Manchester City. I mean, there's obviously lots and lots, but if I could pick one player for Liverpool to have signed and not Manchester City, it would be Bernardo Silva. I love him. I adore him as a player. He's fabulous, and he's been so underrated for City. Like, I think he's in the category of your David Silvas and your Kevin De Bruyne's. I really do. I think he's that tier. But a lot of City fans don't seem to think he is, and a lot of Premier League fans just think he's like almost a squad player at City. He's so good. He's unbelievable, Bernardo Silva. And he always pops up with goals. And when City had to give us the guard of honour at the Etihad, he was the only one not clapping. He was just stood there. Just stood there staring at us. YA can't stand Morpé. Horrid player, I can't lie. I hated Sergio Ramos. Yeah, I didn't like Ramos for what happened against in the Champions League final with Salah. My mate played darts with Rooney in a pub in Plymouth randomly. Wow. Harry Maguire, don't diss Ryan. Southampton, have they taken the lead here at West Ham? Oh, just wide. Just wide from Kyle Walker-Peters. Kyle Walker-Peters is on a free. He's on a free. He's available on a free transfer this summer. You know, a Premier League right-back with over 200 appearances. He's still only 28. He's a perfect pickup for someone in the Premier League this summer. Available on a free transfer. Yeah, YA was one of them you hated from my teammate Rio. I didn't like, Rio Ferdinand. So Ryan Giggs and Rio Ferdinand are the two, and probably Bernardo Silva. That would be my three. Doesn't mean I don't respect them as players, but Rio Ferdinand, Ryan Giggs, Bernardo Silva. That guy Jack, when Arsenal won versus Madrid, I jumped up out my seat in the middle of science class. When Arsenal won v Madrid, where are you, Jack? Whereabouts are you? Where in the world are you? 42, what happened to Kusanov, the baby? Thought he was the next big thing, better than Yoro, I was hearing. Well, he might still be better than Yoro. I think he's been more impressive than Yoro. YA, do you rate Diaz? Yeah, Diaz is brilliant. Diaz is a great centre-back. He's maybe not Virgil van Dijk, but he's a great centre-back. Probably the second best in the league. Ilkay Gundogan is also a hell of a... Yeah, Gundogan's great. Very, very likeable player as well. Unfortunately, he's just kind of lost his legs, hasn't he, in recent years? I mod. Oh, I moved from Italy to America for a better life. Nice. Hey, nothing wrong with... See, I'm trying to move from the UK to Italy for a better life. Or Spain, maybe. Blur v Demon NC66L. Right, let's get ready for the second half to get some bets in. Well, we're 27 minutes in. Sorry, is the clock stopped? Yeah, the clock stopped. Apologies. There you go. We're back. We're back. Yeah, so... Virgil van Disney, PGMOL, protected centre-back, the rest fancy him, so they don't call his fouls. Behave yourself. Odegaard is better than Prime and Iniesta. More outrageous shouts from our mate Reece Coleslaw. Spain is beautiful. Spain is glorious. Absolutely beautiful country. Beautiful country, beautiful people. Lovely way of life. Same could be said of Italy. And lots of other parts of Europe, to be honest. UK is just not the same. It's not what it once was. But that's not for here. We can talk about that on another live. LFC fan 027, do you think that Luis Diaz will score against Leicester City? Yeah, he might do. He started Gakpo recently again, so I would imagine Gakpo might come in. Diaz might not even play against Leicester. I would imagine he will go with Jota, Salah and Gakpo tomorrow night. But I guess we'll see. YA, Obi Martin and Heaven, future of United. Love them both. The energy and creativity they bring to the pitch is amazing. Yeah, Aiden Heaven I've been quite impressed with. I think he's got a good future. I'm not sure about Obi Martin just yet. We've not seen enough of him, but certainly Aiden Heaven I think has been a quite astute find from Man United. They'll need more of that, won't they, over the next however long. We've had nothing going on here, I'll be honest with you. We're 29 minutes into the game. It's been a lot of pass. It's been a bloody awful first half. Apart from the shot from Mateus Nunes, there's not really a lot going on. Decore picks the ball up, sends it out wide to Harrison. Nico O'Reilly's got him there, I think. Yeah, shepherds him out. Italy's also up there. Barca just scored. I've not kept an eye on the Barca scores, to be honest. It's a corner to Everton. Breuer's just won a corner for him. When Obi starts shining and finding his rhythm, mate. Well, assuming that he does, yeah. I mean, there's lots of young players who don't ever quite make it, so you can never really rest your hat on whether or not they will. Obi starts versus Wolves, hopefully. I don't think so. I think you've got to give Højlund that. Højlund has to start v Wolves. You've got a player a young player begging for starts that you've invested 80 million quid in. You've got to start Højlund against Wolves. You've got to. You've got to hope that he finds form. That kid doesn't need... Oh, Everton have just hit the post. It was Tarkowski, I think. Tarkowski with a flick on. They've just hit the post. It was going nowhere, really. It was just a bouncing ball in the box, and Tarkowski just gets something on it, and it's hit the post. Everton nearly going ahead there, 30 minutes in. And the crowd's got up for that one now. Blue, I think this game will end in 0-0 or Man City 1 goal. Well, City very fortunate there to still be level. Let's just watch this back. It was a corner ball in. Tarkowski smiling. He can't quite believe it. It was a good header. It was a really good header. It gets up with, I think it's Mateus Nunes he gets up with. And he just gets something on it. Flicks it towards goal. Ortega has got absolutely no chance. YA... Sorry, where are we catching off? PSG or Inter, I hope. Barca and Arsenal. Kevin De Bruyne with the free kick for Manchester City. Bernardo Silva's over it as well. Paul, I hate Troy Deeney, the most delusional player ever. Yeah, Troy Deeney's another one, isn't he? Although the only prevailing memory I've got of Troy Deeney is when he said that you can't hate Virgil van Dijk because not only is he so good, but he smells amazing on the pitch. He was like, I remember playing against Virgil van Dijk and he was beating me for pace, beating me for strength. He was faster than me. He was first to everything. He knew what I was going to do 5 steps before I knew what I was going to do. And he smells unbelievable as well. Smells amazing. Paul, seen some delusional takes from Van der Sar as well. A bit of a melt. Yeah, I mean, Van der Sar was he was a great goalkeeper, wasn't he? He was a great goalkeeper. YA, so happy for Cobby scoring in the 120th minute. He needed something like that. Cobby's doing really well, isn't he? I think he needs more minutes at United. I'm surprised Amorim hasn't used him more. He needed it to restart his career. A lot of boring games today, mate. I know. I think, do you know what the thing is? We've had, what are we up to now? 1 second. 35 minutes in, we had 1 goal in all of the Premier League games. It's 0-0 West Ham Southampton. It's 0-0 here. It's 0-0 Crystal Palace and Bournemouth. And just the 1 goal at Brentford. Obviously, Brian and Burmo scoring that one. Everton have hit the post as well here. And I'm led to believe that that's the only other sort of near chance. Nobody else has hit the post in the game. So, in the Premier League. So, I guess we'll see what happens now. We've got quite a while to go. 10 minutes to half time, plus injury time there or thereabouts, and another half. So I'm sure we'll see some goals. Sister Vista, only way I remember Deeney is the pen being missed and he scored on the other end seconds later. It was Watford v Leicester, that one. Yeah, Watford v Leicester. That was when, what was the guy's name? Anthony Knockaert had a penalty for Leicester took it. Manuel Almunia saved it, sent it up the pitch, and it was Deeney who scored the winner for Watford. Yeah, great goal. Mainoo's been injured for a while. Yeah. That guy Jack, I hate Real Madrid in my life, but in America people don't know much in the game and support them. Let's go, Real Madrid. They've got a great roster. What an unbelievable roster. That guy has some great sneakers. Here we go. Jack Harrison down the right-hand side for Everton. Ball into the box. Does well, actually. Cleared away by City. There's just not enough Everton players in the box. They're not showing really enough ambition there. They are taking some risks, though. It's certainly been more Everton than it has been City, I would say, in the first half. It's definitely Everton taking the front foot. YA, one thing we can all agree on, Joey Barton is a horrid guy. Agreed, yeah. Absolutely agreed. Boo, Knockout. Anthony Knockout, yeah. De Bruyne with a fabulous crossfield ball there. Savinio squaring him up. It's cleared away by Everton. City have got a little spell of possession here. Decore comes away with it. City went back. Gundogan into De Bruyne. He's still City's best player for me, De Bruyne. Don't care what anyone says. He's still the best player, and I'm astonished that they're letting him leave. That's what they say. How the F did you know this? I know. I've watched a lot of Brad Bobley. If you know who Brad Bobley is, from Soccer AM, he said a lot of that. Lion Imran Khan, hope Arsenal win the league. The league? The league? Surely you mean the Champions League. They're not winning the league. There's no chance they're winning the league. Kane, I would take a Troy Deeney right now. Everton are winning this, I'm telling you. Nico Gonzalez ain't that good. Savinio's just skinned Jake O'Brien. Ball into the box. And Jared Branthwaite puts it behind for a corner. Corner to City. Leo John, how's the game been? It's been a bit crap. I'll be honest with you. It's the Premier League dad curse at the minute. Every time we pick a game, it's god awful to watch. Apart from all of the European games this week. The league games we're having absolute disasters with. To corner A to Manchester City, the only real chance of the game has fell to Everton. Tarkowski's just hit the bar. So he hit the post. And Manchester City are on the attack now. Pickford bizarrely coming all the way out of his goal. Lucky for Everton, it went out for the throw-in. Don't know what Jordan Pickford was doing there. That guy Jack, my friend, used to be an Atletico fan, then switched to Barca as a kid, then to Madrid. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You can't. I feel like that's a culture thing in England that doesn't get replicated anywhere else in Europe. Like, it's quite common in Europe. Yeah, I used to be a Barca fan, but now I'm a Madrid fan. It's like a rite of passage in England. If you pick a team, or usually your dad. It's usually the team that your dad supported. If you get assigned a team at birth, that's your team for life. You know, if it's a rubbish team, then them's the breaks, mate. Unfortunately, you can't just switch and support another because they're a little bit better at that moment in time. And it's borderline a criminal offence in England. It really is. There's a lad I used to go training with, footy training, and he was an Everton fan. His entire life, Everton fan. He used to turn up in Everton kits all the time to training. And this wasn't even a young guy. He was like 19, 20. Like, he'd been an Everton fan his entire life. And then Manchester City got quite good. They hadn't quite won the league yet. It was before the Aguero moment. But they'd got quite good. It was after kind of they'd signed Robinho and they'd signed a fair few others, let's say. They'd started to look like a good team. And Oh, corner kick. No, it's giving a goal kick. Would have been a corner to Everton, but the ref gives a goal kick. Guardiola getting back to block Decore. Yeah, so he supported Everton his entire life, and then all of a sudden just started rocking up to training in Everton in City kits, Man City kits, and everyone was like, "What are you wearing a City kit for?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm a City fan now, season ticket holder." What are you on about? You're a season ticket holder. You've been an Everton fan all your life. You've supported Everton all your life. Why are you now a City fan? And now he is like a proper City fan. Goes every single game, like home and away, season ticket holder, all that sort of thing. And I mean, nobody is really. I've not seen him in probably 8-9 years since we stopped regularly. Since he stopped coming to training and all that sort of stuff. But I think he's maybe just got an entire new circle of friends who nobody knows that he used to support Everton. Just deleted all pictures and all memories of it. That guy Jack says he's a glory hunter. YA won in the Barca game. 1-1. Barca and Celta. Wow. Nestor Brokey, thanks for the follow. Sister Fister, my dad took me to Anfield in 2010. Got a picture with Gerrard, Rayner and Carragher. LFC since then. There you go. There you go. YA, I've always backed Real. I remember when they had Raul. What a player he was. Raul Gonzalez. Fabulous player. Mason Johns, good to have you in the chat, mate. Leighton Wilson, who is doing better? It's been quite even, but I would say Everton have been the more impressive. Everton have hit the post from a Tarkovsky header. But other than that, the game's been a bit flat. 42 minutes in, it's been a bit flat. It's not been great, mate. That guy Jack, I became an Arsenal fan when the week after I got to America, the TV was streaming the North London derby in 2016. Wow. Jack 1023, have Everton played well? I think they've played all right. Look, it's 0-0 against Man City. They've hit the post, Everton. They've kept City out. They've reduced them to very few chances. I don't think it's been a great game to watch. Decore is doing brilliantly here. He's just ran at Gvardiol. He's done very, very well. Played it out wide to Mikolenko here at the left flank. Inside to Gay. Gets it stuck in his feet a little bit. Stood up to the back stick for Harrison. Oh, claim for handball. They're not getting that. They're not getting that. Yeah, I would say Everton are probably the better of the two teams at the minute. Yeah, Leighton, definitely the better of the two teams. It's not been a great performance from either of them, but again, if Everton take a point from this, they'll probably be quite happy, won't they? Whereas for City, they've got to win. They've got to come here and expect to win. YA, the scenes, if Forest remain in the top four, anything can happen in the last 4 weeks. Well, they only need top five, don't they, Forest? Chance for City down the right-hand side. Comes back, De Bruyne, must be. Oh, unbelievable block from Jake O'Brien on the line as well. Was that going in? It's. I think it's Bernardo Silva, or is it Matheus Nunes? Matheus Nunes gets down the right-hand side for City, gets to the byline, pulls it back. It takes a deflection, and it's just coming out to the edge of the area. It's sat up perfectly for Kevin De Bruyne on his left foot, and he opens his body, curls it with his left foot, curls it round. Pickford has no chance. He's not even moving. It's flying into the bottom left-hand corner, and Jake O'Brien just throws his head in the way, puts it behind for a corner. I mean, that would have probably dazed him because De Bruyne caught that one. But Jake O'Brien basically on the line, putting it behind for a corner. Pickford in no man's land there now. Corner to City. Ball got whipped in. Pickford was nowhere near it. Lucky for Everton, it goes behind for a goal kick. Edward, good to see you, mate. Hope you're feeling better. Leo John, do you support a Scottish team? No, I don't really. I think it's a bit weird with Scotland because, like, I grew up having a real affinity for Celtic. I really, really liked Celtic. I loved Henrik Larsson. And I remember Liverpool playing Celtic at Parkhead in, I think it was about 97, 98. And Steve McManaman scored a wonder goal. Absolutely brilliant goal. And Henrik Larsson scored that night as well. And I was watching that as a kid, about 27 years ago. And I always remember Celtic and Parkhead being a really, really amazing atmosphere. So I always liked them for that. But then I went to Parkhead when I was about 11, 12. My dad took me up to Scotland and we did like a tour of all the Scottish football grounds. Don't know why. We ended up watching a couple of games while we were up there. But we went and did a tour of everywhere. We went to Aberdeen, Dundee United, St Johnstone, Hearts, everywhere. And when we went to Parkhead, we walked into... Again, it's a bit cheeky, but we walked into reception and did a little bit of a... Excuse me, do you mind if we have a little look? Have a little look around. It was like the summer. There was nothing doing. There was no games on or anything like that. The games that we saw were pre-season friendlies. But Celtic weren't playing any. I think there was a couple of players like hanging round, and I got put my photo took with John Hartson outside Parkhead. But we walked into reception and we said, like, we've come up from England, we've travelled up to have a look around and stuff. Do you mind if we, like, is there any tours going on or anything like that? It's half time. James Tarkowski, the only real, two actually. No, I tell a lie. De Bruyne's chance just before half time. Both teams have had a couple of chances, but it's been a bit flat. Still 0-0 at half time. Everton 0, Manchester City 0. So Parkhead, there was a little bit, you can't really come in, which is fair enough, really, isn't it? But then we went to Rangers. We went over to Rangers, and they were absolutely sound with us. The guy walked down the steps. He ended up being the chairman of Rangers as we was in reception, and we was like, we just want to have a little look around. Is there anything, like any tours or anything we can do at the stadium? And he said, "Oh, come with us, lads, come with us." And he literally walked us around the entire stadium, had me photo took with Claudio Caniggia, walked out onto the pitch at Ibrox, he gave us a ball and everything, and ended up playing on the pitch at Ibrox for a little minute. There was nothing on the pitch and there was no one in the stadium, but it was amazing walking out the tunnel at Ibrox, me and my dad, with the chairman of Rangers. So since then, and then obviously Gerrard going there, I've always had a little bit of affinity for both of the big Scottish clubs. Edward, it's WrestleMania weekend, so excited. Oh, is it really? See, I've not watched wrestling in about 20 plus years. I don't mind playing the games every so often because my nephew was into wrestling a little bit, so I got back into it for his sake. I haven't watched wrestling in about 20 years. But one of the lads I used to work with, he absolutely adores it. Forget top 5. They started that in Jan, innit? That guy Jack, I want to see Chris Wood and Ilanga slot 1 back by Courtois next season. Edward, I'm doing good, man. Forgot to message you yesterday. Don't worry, mate. It's all good. Corin, can't stay. Sorry, just getting my drinks for half time. I'm at Goodison at the minute. All right, okay, good. No worries, Corin. I hope you're enjoying the game. Leighton Wilson, Everton are in half time. Yep, they're all in the tunnel now. They're all, they're in the dressing rooms now, waiting for the second half, having the refreshments, getting a rub down, getting a tactical debrief, all that good stuff. Leo John, I'm a Rangers fan, but my dad is Celtic. I bet your house is fun on on Old Firm Day. YA, Anthony Ilanga is playing in the Ballers League on Monday. Ilanga's great this season. He's been a hell of a signing for Forest. Still can't quite believe that United let Ilanga go. Calm the Red should be 1-1 here. Yeah, I would think so too. I'll be honest, I would think so too. Brighton have scored. It's 1-1 Brighton. Danny Welbeck bang on half time. 49th minute he scored. And not only that, but Crystal Palace have had a man sent off against Bournemouth. Chris Richards, for his second yellow card. He was booked on 30 minutes and booked again on the 46th, just before half time. So that's a massive, massive letdown for Crystal Palace there. OB734, City need to be quicker in attack, mate. They're not. Do you know what it is? I think City are just not. They've not got enough pace out wide. I think they've got Savinho there, but they're not getting it to Marmoush often enough. Marmoush I haven't really seen at all today. He's having to drop deep to get any of the ball, and they need, I think, him sticking in the middle, to be honest, to keep the centre-backs occupied a little bit. User 575-243-574468. Bro, this match is so shit. I can't help that. I'm sorry. It's not been that bad. It's been alright. There's been a couple of flashpoints. But I think, yeah, we'd have probably been better off watching Brentford and Brighton at this rate. But everything's easy with 2020 hindsight, isn't it? Palace 0, Bournemouth 0, West Ham 0, Southampton 0, Everton 0, City 0, Brentford 1, Brighton 1. That's the only real game we've had going on, to be honest. Edward, I absolutely adore it. We play tomorrow, right? Yeah, Liverpool play tomorrow against Leicester City. Passan, Everton will get a late winner. I mean, look, I wouldn't rule out one goal. Seems to be... I think we'll get one goal in this game either way. I think that's probably the right... Yeah, that seems to be what looks like it's going to happen. Again, if you've not followed, by the way, if you've not followed us, if you've not subscribed, I got told off for this before kickoff. I really need to self-promote a little bit better. I don't do it anywhere near enough. But if you have any interest in these watch-alongs, if you want to join us on this journey, Premier League Dad, the channel, I only started it in January. We've got 5,000 or so subscribers on YouTube, 2,000 or so on TikTok, although that's a lot newer. And we stream every single day. I watch football every single day, whether it be the Premier League. We did 4 Championship games yesterday. We do La Liga, we do all the Champions League games, the Europa League games, the Conference League games, all the big matches that matter. We stream them. And to be honest, most of the time, I ask you guys what you want us to do the watch-along on. What would you like me to stream? What should we be watching? And we watch footy matches every single day. I'm a Liverpool fan, for the record. But I support football. I watch football. I love football. I love all teams. I feel like I can have an opinion on, a reasonable opinion anyway, on most football teams, football clubs. I try to stay relatively unbiased. I do hate United. I do hate City. I do hate Everton. I do hate Arsenal. I do hate Chelsea. And I'm pretty honest about those things. But everyone else, much of a muchness. I still think I can have a conversation about football without the red tinted glasses on. But if you like that sort of thing, look, we have every sort of fan in the chat. We have all sorts of clubs in the chat, even lower league clubs, not just Premier League. Lower league clubs come and follow us, and we have a chat and a natter about all things football. Sometimes even just what you had for tea. We're talking about WrestleMania now. All that sort of stuff. We just generally have a chit chat as the game's going on, and we react to the goals as they go in. So if that's your thing, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. If it's not, then breeze on by. That's good too. But thank you for the comments. Carl the Red, 1-1, I'll stick with and die, and KDB scorers. KDB's certainly been the one that's going to look most likely for City. YA, is your YouTube link in the bio? Yeah, it is, mate. If you just search Premier League Dad on YouTube, it's there. Sister Vista told off, he says. It's real. I was told off. That guy Jack Bayern are leading by 4-0 in the Bundesliga. Really? YA, TikTok and YouTube is good. Thanks, mate. 42, he loves United. No, I don't. Stop the lies. Loves United. Marmoush. What about Marmoush? Can I sub to your YouTube, mate? You can, yes, please do. It'd be lovely of you to do so. See, 3 new YouTube searches, first time I heard you say it. I've just got to do better at doing it, that's it. I've done it once during the game. Most other people, I don't know how often it's reasonable to do it. How often does it become annoying and irritating? If I do it, maybe once at half time and once when there's an injury break in the game, that feels okay. That guy Jack, I'll be right back. No rush, mate. You come back when you're ready. YA, I'll do it now, mate. You're a sound guy. Thank you very much, sir. You're sound too. For the United fan, you're alright. We can tolerate you. Sister Fister, before the game, half time, after the game, then here and there when viewers are up. Okay. Noted. Noted. My manager has spoken. Right. So, predictions for the second half. Let me know what we're thinking. We've got 4 games ongoing in the Premier League. West Ham 0, Southampton 0, Everton 0, City 0, Brentford 1, Brighton 1, Palace 0, Bournemouth 0, albeit Palace are down to 10 men. In the Bundesliga, yeah, loads going on. Oh my God, RB Leipzig 0, Holstein Kiel 1. That's gonna be that's ruining my bets. That is gonna ruin my bets. What's going on in Italy? Lecce 0, Como 2. I did have that. Asan Diao has scored again for Como. That's a really odd move, that. Asan Diao moving for whatever it was, 12 million quid from Real Betis to Como. He's incredibly highly thought of. 19 years old. He's gone to Como. He's got 7 goals and assists in 14 games already in Serie A. So he's one to watch as we go forward in the future. And he's about to score a third, I think. 93rd minute in the Lecce Como game. What's going on in La Liga? Rayo 1, Valencia 1. Yes, Valencia nicked it at the end. Omar Sadiq with an equaliser towards the end of that one. 1-1. Barcelona 1, Celta Vigo 1. Who scored for Barca? Ferran Torres. Borja Iglesias with the equaliser. Okay, I can tolerate that one. I really need RB Leipzig to come back against Holstein Kiel. That's a real letdown if those somehow manage to fluff it up. What other games are going on today? What have I missed? Anything going on in Croatia? Apologies, by the way, we do like some obscure European games at Premier League, Dad. We do tend to chat about Varazdin v Hajduk Split in the Croatian league, or Zlin in the Czech second division is another favourite of ours who we have a chat about occasionally. Istra 1961 against Rijeka tonight is one to watch in the Croatian league. Banica Strava are beating Bohemians. Plitzen 2-1 up against Dukla Prague. Okay, no Super League in tonight, no Danish footy on. Anything else? Dutch division tonight? No. Ajax play tomorrow, don't they, against Utrecht? Polish Ekstraklasa, anything going on there? Pogon Szczecin against Rakow is tonight. Keep an eye out for that one. Liga Portugal, Braga away at Estoril and Benfica away at Guimarães. That's tonight as well. Anything else we've got going on? I think that's pretty much it for football today. Swiss Super League, all of that's tomorrow. Anything in Turkey? Fenerbahce's tomorrow, isn't it? Oh no, Göztepe and Besiktas. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Besiktas. Still can't believe he's managing them. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back in management in Turkey, managing Besiktas. Sister Fister, I just don't want to see you quit. He's giving himself a year, guys. Well, it's not a year now. It's not a year. The year is rapidly ticking down. That's what you've got to remember. We've got the rest of this month, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. By December, if we're approaching Christmas, I dread to think. I think it might even be before then, to be honest. Christmas would be a real cut-off point. It'd be a real low. Oh, Scouse House sent... Oh, thanks, mate. Thank you for that. I appreciate the GIFTS. Kevin De Bruyne, 1 shot, 25 passes, 32 touches, and he's covered nearly 6 kilometres in that game. Christ, that makes me feel tired just looking at it. Oh, do you know what I've just realised? I am absolutely raging. I didn't correct the scoreboard, did I? Sorry, I've got a little bit of a guess an OCD thing for the fact that I always put the scoreboard in the colour of the kits that the team are in. And for some reason I thought Manchester City would be in the light blue strip. And they're not. They're in the red, dark red, sort of amber away strip. Well, it's not amber, is it? What colour? What would we say it is? Like a... What colour would we say that is? Like a dark red, deep red colour. It's definitely not amber. Burgundy. It's like a burgundy number, isn't it? Ron Burgundy. Right, there you go. Ron Burgundy. That's their kit. Man City. There you go. I feel a bit better now. We've actually got the right colours on the screen. Right, sorry, let me just catch up with the chats. Jesus Christ, YouTube. Kane, maroon cut. Yeah, maroon. That's what I was going for, I think. Maroon. It's a little bit of a purple to it, isn't there? A little bit of a purple. Scout House, welcome, mate. Be back. I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, no worries, mate. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for the lads, for the main events. Liverpool away at Leicester City. Right, we're underway for the second half now. We're underway. Everton 0, City 0. Are we going to get some goals, some action in this half? Please, dear God, give us something. Everton had more touches in the opposition penalty area than Manchester City did in that first half. Right. Let me know what we're thinking. Pep Guardiola and David Moyes both looking quite stern, quite pensive on the touchline. I wonder what they'll have made at half-time of what they've seen. I think you'd be quite pleased if you were David Moyes, wouldn't you? You'd be quite satisfied with that. That's a shove in the back, referee, surely. Reece, Oscar Bob is a good young player. He is, yeah. Oscar Bob's one who needs minutes, doesn't he? He might be one who moves on from City, maybe on loan in the summer. Because I can't see him getting too many minutes. He's only just come back. Was there any half-time subs? No, there wasn't any half-time subs. Certainly not here, anyway. Let's take a look if there was any anywhere else. I imagine Palace would have made a couple of subs. Certainly Chris Richards going off. West Ham 1, Southampton 0. There you go. We've got a goal in that game. Goal at the London Stadium. Crystal Palace haven't made any subs in the second half against Bournemouth. They've stuck with things as they are. Jared Branthwaite just had a good shot on target there from a corner. Ortega with the save. Everton have started this second half quite brightly. They've started quite well. It's I think Ederson might move on soon. Yeah, I think Ederson's almost certain to go at some point, isn't he? He's getting to that age now, and to be honest, I don't think he's covered himself in glory this season a lot of the time. Ball in from Everton on the right, great touch. The keeper comes flapping at it. Decore shot, block. Oh, it's absolutely last man. Oh, just chaos in the City penalty area. The ball got swung in from the far side. Ortega comes out, tries to get a touch on it to sort of palm it away. Doesn't really get anywhere near it, and he's out of his area. He's out of his not out of his area, off his line, out of position. And Dye has a swipe at it, doesn't quite get enough on it, and then Decore has a shot which is blocked. It was goal bound. I don't know if it was quite on the line, but it was certainly a goal bound shot just outside the 6-yard box, blocked by City. Jared Bowen scored for West Ham. Nicholas Fulkrug with the assist. So yeah, West Ham 1-0 up against Southampton. That's good because we needed West Ham. Reece think there's been a bit of a falling out. Apparently there's been a bit of a falling out with Liverpool and Darwin Núñez as well. Just seeing this Jared Branthwaite chance there. It was a free kick. That is a proper typical Everton chance. It was a free kick deep in basically near the halfway line, flung into the box. A nothing free kick really, just hung up to the back stick. Tarkowski wins it, first header, knocks it back in towards the 6-yard box. And who's running in? Jared Branthwaite gets his head on it. I mean, he might even argue he should score, to be honest. He should really... But it's a great save from Ortega. It's a really good save. Oh, Tarkowski's gone down here, and I think he's done his knee. It's a bad one. Oh, that's a really difficult pill to swallow. The ref is signalling there needs to be a change. And this might be Michael Keane coming on to resume his Everton career. It's looking a bad one for James Tarkowski. He immediately signalled to the bench. He's running through, back towards his own goal. Oh, he pulls up. I think it's his hamstring. Yeah, it's a hamstring injury. It's not a bad one in that it will ruin his summer, but it'll probably end his season. It will end his season. James Tarkowski ain't going to play again this season now. Brentford 2, Brighton 1. They've come back out in the second half fighting. And it's Brentford 2, Brighton 1. I'm just waiting to see who scored that one. But a big goal for Brentford. If Brentford score that, there is still an outside chance they get European football next season. There really is. They'd be on 46 points. They'd be 2 points behind Brighton. 2 points behind Fulham, who obviously play Chelsea tomorrow. And just 3 points behind 8th placed Bournemouth. It's Bryan Mbeumo again. I am going to keep campaigning for Bryan Mbeumo to come to Liverpool. He's got to leave Brentford this summer. He is an unbelievable player. Reece Cronshaw, Jared Bowen might get a big move soon. He's too old. Jared Bowen. He's a good player, but again, I just think he's... How old is he? He's 29 this year, mate. He's 29 this year, Jared Bowen. How much would it cost to get Jared Bowen out of West Ham? Michael Keane's just coming on for James Tarkowski. It's disappointing to see Tarkowski go off like that, to be honest. He's sure his missus will be happy. Gets him at home for a few months. But that's his season done with, I would imagine. He's definitely looks like a torn hamstring. Probably a couple of months out. So, yeah, back to pre-season for him. 40 million. You think 40 million gets Jared? I don't think West Ham accept 40 million for Jared Bowen. No chance. Not a chance. You ask a West Ham fan how much they'd want for Jared Bowen. It's a shame we've not got FM No Casuals in here. FM No Casuals likes West Ham. He's a West Ham fan. There's no way he's accepting 40 million for him. No chance. Everton are in here. Jared Bowen. Armando Broja was in behind. And it was a slip at the wrong moment from him. Oh, he was in. He was in there. He was in behind the City defence. Scott Carson is better than Sanchez. Not sure I agree with that one. West Ham would want at least 65 to 70 million for Bowen. I think that's the same. Yeah, I think that's about the right bracket. And that's the problem, isn't it? That is the problem. West Ham would demand that for him because not only is he's their best player, maybe, him or Kudus, but certainly one of. The cost to replace Jared Bowen for them is about that. Maybe a touch less. I just think, there's no way they're letting him go for less than 60, 65. And nobody would be willing to pay 60, 65 million for Jared Bowen at 29 years old. It just isn't going to happen. Bowen to Wolves. Bowen, yeah, but if Bowen does leave, it ain't to Wolves. If Bowen was to go anywhere, I could see him going to like maybe a United actually, maybe a United or maybe a Newcastle or a Villa. In fact, Newcastle he would be terrific for. I think if Newcastle were looking for a proper, Newcastle are short a right winger, aren't they? I know they've got Murphy out there at the minute and he's doing well, but if they do keep Isak, they've got Gordon, Isak, and then there's a little bit of a lull on that right side with Murphy. Murphy's done really well recently, but ideally he's not a winger that's going to win you a Premier League, is he, Murphy? If Newcastle have got that ambition, they have to go and get a Brian Mbeumo, a Jared Bowen, someone like that who can play on that right side and can score and can cause problems. Oh, City have got a player down now. They're imploring Everton to kick it out. Jack Harrison isn't going to do so. Who is it who's gone down? Who's gone down for City? It looks like... Is it Marmoush? Is it Marmoush? Everton free kick. Nico O'Reilly just kicked Jack Harrison there, I think, to stop the play. It was Michael Keane, I think, who's got booked. He goes through on Marmoush, yeah, that's what it is. Michael Keane's come on the pitch and immediately got a booking. Flew through Omar Marmoush. Let's just look at it again. Yeah, came through the back of Omar Marmoush. So Keane's been on the pitch. Barely a couple of minutes, he's already got a booking for taking down Marmoush. The referee didn't think it was a foul for some reason, but it played on. And it's a free kick to Everton now, just around the halfway line. Villa, yeah, Owen or B. Yeah, I think Villa's maybe a better option for Bowen. Anthony maybe be one that they might replace him with, yeah. Newcastle will try and win the Champions League before the Prem. I think Newcastle's season next year is going to be a really interesting... Well, summer. Let's say the summer is going to be a very interesting one to watch, isn't it? Whether or not Isak stays. If Isak does go, who do they replace him with? Moise Keane's been one that's been linked. That's one that's been rumoured. I did a watch-along midweek. Fiorentina against Celje in the Europa Conference League. We watched it live here. And I thought Moise Keane was terrific. He ran the show. It was unbelievable performance from him. And he just looks a completely different player to the one that we saw here at Everton, funnily enough. And when he was at PSG and when he was at Juventus, he just looks a completely different animal. And great finisher, big, strong lad, able to spin and kind of carry the ball forward. Really composed. I think Moise Keane's one to watch going forward. Jeremy Cox, do you think anyone will score? Hand on heart, Jeremy, I think no. I think this one probably finishes 0-0. I mean, it's still half an hour left. There's not been many chances. There's been a couple of half chances in the first half. Obviously, Everton hitting the post off Tarkowski's header. He's since gone off. They've had another chance early in the first half. Jared Bowen. Why do I keep saying Jared Bowen? Jared Branthwaite with a header that Ortega saved very well. Other than that, Pickford's made a couple of saves. City have had one maybe off the line, you would say. Jake O'Brien knocking it behind for a corner. But it's not been a game, besides those chances, it's been a bit flat. Reece, the fact at one point Newcastle were linked with Mbappe is disgraceful. I don't think Mbappe's... I don't think he would suit the Premier League. Do you? I know he's a very good player, don't get me wrong. He's a very, very good player. But I always feel like he... What's the expression? He kind of throws his toys out the pram a little bit too easily. 42. How much do you reckon Kudus cost if someone wants him? Same bracket as that. 60 to 70 million probably. Again, I don't know if anyone pays it. I think that's the problem. I think what's going to happen with Kudus this summer is there'll be a lot of teams interested, but they'll be offering things like 40 and 50. And at 40 and 50, I'd be interested at that, for Liverpool. I think 40 and 50 is a good signing. Same with like Mbeumo. Good signing for 40, 50 million quid. As soon as you start getting up into the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, at that point, you're expecting a bit more. You're expecting the player to come in and not just be a good player, but to be a top player, someone who really pushes you on. And I don't know if Bowen or Kudus do that. Oh, Armando Broja's gone down here for Everton. Please, dear God, tell me that's not another injury for him. I think he gets a shove in the back. I don't know if it's maybe a head injury. I thought that was an injury for Broja. Matthias Christian, who is going to win? I think it's going to be a draw, Matthias. I think it's going to be 0-0. I can't see it being too many goals in this. Maybe one at a push. I'd argue Haaland is better than Mbappe, but they're two different types of strikers, I suppose. That's true, yeah. FM No Casuals. We were right, FM No Casuals, we were talking about you. I was asked, how much do you think Jared Bowen goes for this summer? And I said, I asked the question, didn't I? I asked the question and said, how much do you think Jared Bowen goes for this summer? And a few people in the chat suggested the number would be 40 to 45 million. I said that was laughable. There's no way West Ham fans would accept 40 to 45 million for Jared Bowen. I keep switching to FM. Oh, that charming. Sanos, will either of them score? I don't think so. Decore is coming forward now for Everton. Cuts inside. Shot from Decore. Good save from Ortega. Just over for a corner. It's Brentford 3, Brighton 1. It might be an Mbermo hat-trick. It's not. It's Johan Wisser. 2 for Mbermo, 1 for Johan Wisser. Brentford 3, Brighton 1. That's a great result for Brentford. The bees are buzzing. Passan and Mbappe's best on the wing. They would be so good together, though. Yeah. I think Mbappe's been forced centrally, hasn't he? It just doesn't suit him. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Vinicius left, At some point, Vinicius might move. FM No Casuals, he doesn't want to leave, so that inflates his price. I said I don't think Bowen will leave because of multiple factors. One being that he's nearly 29, he's 29 this year, and teams don't pay 60 plus million, 50, even 50 plus million for a 29-year-old unless they really move the needle on a team. And I'm not sure that Bowen does. I don't think Bowen does move the needle. City driving forward. Here's Marmoush. He's dragged down. That's a foul and a yellow card. Idrissa Gana Gay's booked. Whew. Vinny to where though? Vinny to Chelsea. Yeah, that's exactly who I thought. Funnily enough, you say that. Chelsea was my first thought. Vinicius Jr. will leave Real Madrid at some point, and he'd probably end up going somewhere exactly like Chelsea or maybe City. City will need a winger soon because they're getting fed up with Doku. They're getting fed up with Grealish. I don't think this Savinio's any great shakes. They're going to need a star signing out wide. And Vinicius Jr. is just the sort of rat that goes to Manchester City. Sister Fister, I read, problem with Mbappe and Vinny is they both want to be Ronaldo, but one of them have to be Benzema. That wonderful expression. Reece Crownshaw, who was sent off for Palace? Yeah, it was Chris Richards. 2 bookings in the first half. One about the half-hour mark and one just on half-time. Real needs a pure striker. I just think that's inevitable. What's going to happen at some point is that one of Mbappe or Vinicius have to get dropped. And it won't be Mbappe because of the amount of money that it took to get into the club. And I think Vinicius is just one of them who's obviously he was enraged that he didn't win the Ballon d'Or. He keeps talking about how he doesn't get any praise. He's not recognised outside of the club and all this sort of thing. He should be recognised one of the best players in the world. I think he will want to leave Madrid to go and kind of prove himself somewhere else. And it wouldn't surprise me to see him go to a City or a Chelsea or maybe a PSG. Maybe a PSG if... well, no, they've just signed Kvara, so no. He's got no chance of getting in at PSG either, does he? So, I don't know where he would go. Beto goal incoming, yeah. Beto coming on for Everton. Beto on. Who was it who went off? I didn't see who went off. Was it Breuer who went off? Let's just see. Yeah, Beto on for Armando Breuer. Crystal Palace still 0-0. Brighton have had a man sent off. João Pedro has just been sent off for Brighton. João Pedro, straight red as well. João Pedro, what happened? Let's see. It's a straight red card. I have no idea what's happened. But João Pedro has gone. Red card to Brighton. Brentford 3-1 up now. And a man up. Reece Crowshaw, Beto's had a very good season this season. Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah, we talked about this earlier. A lot of people seem to indicate that Beto is not very good, and I still think he's better than Breuer. As a rival fan, I'm so happy De Bruyne is going. I love De Bruyne. Love him to bits. De Bruyne, edge of the area, shot. Good block by Everton. Really good block. Archie T, what's this game like? It's been a bit flat. That's all I can say, mate. It's been a bit flat. There's been a couple of half chances in the game, but nowhere near enough for you to think, oh yeah, it's been better offside there. It's just been, the game has taken place for the most part outside of the final thirds. It's been basically in that central zone. Little bit in City's half, little bit in Everton's half. Pass, give it away. Pass, give it away. And then, maybe they get a free kick and they pump it into the area. It's been quite a few corners. Sister Vista, Diaz out, Vinny in. Here we go. Oh, God, no. I really wouldn't want Vinicius at Liverpool. I'd hate that. He's probably up. That's when we talk about players we don't like. Vinicius is probably one of them again. Again, he gives me Bruno Fernandes vibes. Just a whinge bag. Just a proper whinge bag. Imagine Vinny to Barca. Wouldn't be surprised. It's happened before. He's definitely got a little bit of the Figo in him, hasn't he? Oh, Mikalenko. That's a wonderful play. It was a cross from the left side from Gundogan. It was going into the box, and Mikalenko, he had City players around him very, very coolly and casually. Just headed it back to Pickford. Nicely done. He's grown into himself a little bit this season, hasn't he, Vitaly Mikalenko? Wouldn't say he's been world class or anything, but he's looked a different player. I still think Jared Branthwaite's future is one that needs looking at for Everton, doesn't it? I'm sure there's a number of Evertonians who want him to stay, but I think there'll be a part of them as well that will acknowledge that he's their main asset financially. He's one that they could sell, they could get a pretty penny for, and they could maybe use that money to kick on and rebuild the team with. Because you could probably get yourself maybe 60 million for Jared Branthwaite, couldn't you? And they haven't got anyone else like that in the Everton squad. Who else have they got they could go and sell and get that sort of money for? Pickford's not worth that anymore. And Dye doesn't produce the numbers to get anywhere near that sort of money. And everyone else is either too old, too injury prone, or too out of contract. So Everton need a bit of a cash injection, and it really wouldn't surprise me to see him do that with Branthwaite. City coming in down the left-hand side, ball into the box, cleared away. Iliman Ndiaye in his own penalty area, hoofs it away. Passan, I thought they would sell him after last season. Well, I'll tell you this now. At the time, I used to work somewhere where, again, this is a proper tenuous link, so ignore me. You don't have to take this as gospel. But I used to work somewhere where the guy who I worked with, one of the guys who I worked with, I don't know if it was, I can't remember what, he had a family member. He had a family member who was an estate agent, which you might think immediately, whatever, fine, so what, who cares? I was led to believe from this person who isn't a shitbag, who isn't someone who makes stuff up, and neither am I, by the way. Neither am I. This might be absolutely nonsense. It might not be true, but a person who I have no reason to disbelieve, who doesn't make things up, who isn't a young man either, who is a fella getting on and a very experienced and very professional guy, informed me that Jared Branthwaite had put his house up and gone somewhere else, or was looking at moving somewhere else. Now that might be nothing, that might be everything. Might be nothing, might be everything. And again, it might not even be true. But the person who told me this, is an Everton fan. And he said he's going. And I remember saying at the time, thinking to myself, oh, bloody hell, he must be. Because all the news about Manchester United came out not long after that. And I thought, Christ, if he sold his house in Liverpool, and he's looking at houses, or he might be looking at houses in Cheshire and Hale and Altrincham, then maybe Manchester United that move is on. But in the end, it didn't happen. So draw from that whatever conclusions you will. But to me, I think maybe there's RB Leipzig equalised against Holstein Kiel. Gamblers Anonymous strikes again. City with the shot, Gundogan straight at Pickford. So I think maybe Jared Branthwaite will leave this summer. I think he probably planned to leave last summer, but the deal just couldn't get done in the end. Man United didn't want to go high enough. Everton couldn't agree a deal, and therefore he stayed. But I think he's almost certain to go this summer. Sister Fister, I'll say it again. Imagine City don't get the Champions League next year and United do. Yeah, this is the thing. I kind of want the rage bait. Like, I don't want United to win the Europa League, but that would be, Barcelona 1, Celta Vigo 2. That's another bet killer. Thank God it's only 52 minutes into the game, but Borja Iglesias, again, 32-year-old, has scored his second goal of the game against Barca. Great tackle by Mykolenko. Again, he's been their man of the match today, Mykolenko. He's having a hell of a game for Everton. Really good game. Here's Jack Harrison driving into the City box. Comes out to Ndiaye. Shot from Ndiaye. Oh, just wide. Just wide. It was an elbow by João Pedro. Was it really? Blimey. Yeah, elbow by João Pedro. I mean, he's got done for that before. He's got form for that, hasn't he? Has Barca started normal 11, or are they resting players? Let me have a look. I'll tell you they're 11. Barcelona's team is Szczesny, Koundé, Kabasi, Martinez, Martin, Pedri, De Jong, Lopez, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Ferran Torres. Yeah, it's full strength pretty much, isn't it? They've got Yamal on the bench. Yamal on the bench. Gavi on the bench. Araujo on the bench. Christensen, Olmo. But yeah, that's pretty much a strong Barca team. I actually don't think it was a straight red looking at it, but I'm not PGMOL. Good save by Jordan Pickford there. City are just growing in confidence in this game. They are just starting to pick up some chances. Good play by Beto there. Holding off Guardiol. Really good play by Beto. He's created a chance out of nothing, maybe. Oh. Yeah, we really, really need Barcelona to come back into that one, because that could be a bet killer. Coupon buster, as my dad calls it. A coupon buster. Oh, that might have been a yellow card. No, good tackle from Everton. Villa Newcastle lineups are out. Go on, let's have a look at them. Let's have a look at the Villa Newcastle lineups. Villa have gone Martinez in goal, Matty Cash at right back, Konza, Mings and Martson. Midfield of McGinn, Tielemans, Kamara, and then Rodgers, Asensio, Watkins. Ooh, okay, so they've dropped Digne, they've dropped Rashford, no Jacob Ramsey, no Onana, they're on the bench. Marlon's on the bench. Okay. Newcastle's is pretty much straightforward. It's as you'd expect. It's Pope in goal. It's Dan Burn with Livramento, Shah, and Kieran Trippier at the back. Midfield three, Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, and Joe Linton. And then front three of Jacob Murphy, Harvey Barnes, and Alexander Isak. 1 second. Yeah. There you go. So, yeah, teams are pretty much straightforward. Tis Fister, are you here for Villa Newcastle? That's going to be a good game. Yes, I am here for Villa Newcastle. I'm hoping that it will be better than the show that we've had from these two today. Everton 0, City 0. What an horrendous game. I knew we should have watched Brentford and Brighton. We've had 4 goals and a red card in that game. Southampton with minus 55 goal difference. Wow. Southampton are just, they're on course for the worst Premier League team ever, aren't they? Wait, excuse me. Newcastle are always able to start the same team. No injuries, that's true. Yeah, they have done well with injuries this season. Is Howe back? I don't know if Eddie Howe is back. Sorry to say, but I meant good game as in 1-1, 0-0. Yeah, but better as in more chances for both teams, you mean? Yeah, I think that too. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a great game, high scoring, but at least, and it might be. There's just been more chances than this. This literally feels like both of these teams have come into this game thinking, do you know what? Be happy with a point. Be happy with a point here. Eddie Howe is back. Oh, that's good. That's good. Don't want him in hospital with pneumonia. Bet Tyndall's gutted though, isn't he? Tyndall will be raging. We go into the Saudi chairman and saying to him, "Listen, I think I've got the experience now. I think you need to give me the top job. I've done this for a long time now. Need to move Eddie on. Tell him the big dog's back in charge. JT." Villa Newcastle is going to be a draw. I think it's got draw written all over it, hasn't it? But it wouldn't surprise anyone if either of those were to win it. I think the lineups don't necessarily suit. Whoa! I think he's going to give a foul there. Yeah, foul. Bernardo Silva with a shove in the back. That's, again, rat play from Bernardo Silva, shoving Branthwaite in the back while he's in mid-air. He's giving the old Harry Kane there. The old Harry Kane nudge in the back while you're jumping for the header. And Branthwaite's knocked him off balance and he's landed flat on his back and winded himself. That's proper rat behaviour from Bernardo Silva. Couple of changes coming on here for City. Doku and Kovacic coming on. 3 changes coming on for Everton. It's Nico Gonzalez going off for Kovacic. And who's coming on? Coming off for Doku, rather. Savinho off for Doku. For Everton, they're about to bring on Tim Irabunum. I'm not sure who he's going to be coming on for. But Tim Irabunum's coming on. Carlos Alcaraz is coming on as well. So that might just give him a little bit more oomph in the final third. And Dwight McNeil as well. So I wonder who comes off and who comes on for them. Guerrero, will Man City win? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think we're destined to see this finish at 0-0. I'm sorry. I wish I was wrong, but Irabunum, McNeil and Alcaraz about to come on for Everton. I can't see there being a goal in this one. It's Tillman and Dye coming off. He's not had his... Oh no, it's Jack Harrison. Sorry, Jack Harrison coming off. It might well be Ilman and Dye as well, but Jack Harrison is coming off. It's not been a great performance from Everton or City today, but both will be content with a point. Feels like Dwight McNeil's been out for a while, hasn't he? I think he came back into the side against Forest. Decore, Harrison, and it is Ilman and Dye. Ilman and Dye's going off as well. So, and Dye off for McNeil, Decore for Irabunum, and Harrison for Carlos Alcaraz. Can any of them make a difference in the last 10 minutes plus added time? A draw is a good performance for Everton, I reckon. A draw's great. A draw's great for Everton, but the performance... It's probably because it's been such a poor game to watch. I'm getting drawn into that fact. I was hoping that we would see an outright winner either way, because an outright winner at least means one of these is going to be upset, and it's frustrating when you see both of them are going to get something from this. I think City will certainly be the most disappointed. Obviously, City will stay in fifth, but if Chelsea and Villa were to win tomorrow, Villa were to win tonight, Chelsea were to win tomorrow against Fulham, City would be in 7th. City would be in 7th with 5 games of the season left. How mad is that? They'd be on course for a Europa Conference League place. And both of those are entirely possible, aren't they, by the way? Villa beating Newcastle at Villa Park is not out of the... It's not out... Get me, put my teeth back in. It's not out of the equation. It's not a ridiculous suggestion. Aston Villa to beat Newcastle at Villa Park is very much a possibility. Oh, Celta Vigo are beating Barca 3-1. What's going on? But if that was to happen and Chelsea were to beat Fulham tomorrow, City would be in 7th. 7th place. It's Borja Iglesias again. It's a hat-trick. It's a hat-trick from the veteran striker. Celta Vigo 3-1 up. Jesus Lord. 42, Everton late winner again. Do you think so? Gvardiol scoring outside the box, screaming in the 89th minute. A goal of any sort would be fantastic. I still can't believe it's been goalless at Palace as well. 0-0, Palace and Bournemouth. There's been 8 yellow cards dished out in that game, by the way, for anyone who's watching or checking for cards. Yeah, Barrett, the referee, has given 8 yellow cards out in the Palace-Bournemouth game. Oh, here we go. Chance here. Oh, they're in City. Marmouche. It's there. Is that 1-0? Oh, has he got it wide? The internet stalled again. It's 0-0. Jordan Pickford tips it wide. Marmouche. It was unbelievable from Michael Keane. The ball gets hit long. Michael Keane's had an absolute howler there. Michael Keane has had an absolute howler. I mean, Marmouche should score. He's clean through. He's running clean through on Jordan Pickford, and he hits it. Pickford gets a save and tips it wide for a corner. But Michael Keane has had an absolute stinker. He's had an absolute stinker, Michael Keane. Very nearly costs his team the game there. Sister Fister, I don't want City to get top 5. Hopefully it stays 0-0. Yeah, 0-0 or an Everton winner, I mean, would be great. But City, it looks as it stands like they might just pinch it. They're coming into it now in the last 10 minutes. Brentford 3, Brighton 2. And Barcelona 2, Celta Vigo 3 at the Nou Camp. Barcelona are on the comeback trail at the Nou Camp. And I wonder who scored for Brighton as well. That's the other thing to look out for. Let's see. Brentford 3, Brighton 2. Karo Mitoma it was. Karo Mitoma. Here's City coming forward. Doku comes out. Kovacic. Gundogan. It's all City pressure here. Manchester City applying pressure. Comes all the way through. And there it is. It's 1-0. It's Nico O'Reilly at the near post. It was coming. Everton 0. Manchester City 1. There you go. Tapping at the near post for Nico O'Reilly. The kid. The young kid's done it again. I tell you what, Jared Branthwaite's gone sprinting over to the linesman. He's questioning something. I don't know whether he's questioning a foul or an offside. I have no idea. Jordan Pickford's not happy either. There's a real inquest going on here between Everton's defenders, the referee, the linesman. But I tell you something, City have got the win there. That'll be a big, big win for them if they've managed to get this over the line. It's a ball out wide. Is he offside when he gets this? No, he's not offside. Nothing wrong there. It's an easy goal, that. It's too easy for Everton. Bernardo Silva plays it to Nunes. Nunes smashes it across the front of the 6-yard box, right in front of the near post. And it's Nico O'Reilly. Who does he get in front of there? Who does he get in front of? Don't say it's Michael Keane. Don't say it's Michael Keane. It is. It's Michael Keane. He switches off. Michael Keane has definitely cost Everton this game. Oh, I feel for him. I feel for him. He's come off the bench. And Michael Keane, he got a yellow card within 2-3 minutes of coming off the bench. Oh, that's a foul and a yellow card for Timur Abunam. He's hauled down Doku there. Michael Keane, he got a yellow card literally as soon as he came off the bench for smashing Omar Marmoush. And he's just done it again there. Manchester City goal. Sorry, I didn't put the graphic up. I didn't put the graphic up on the screen. Wowzers. Unbelievable. 42, Brighton scored. Yeah, they scored earlier. It was Karu Matoma who scored just before City did. Karu Matoma. So it's Brentford 3, Brighton 2. Brighton still got 10 men in that game. Last 5 minutes in that one. Palace 0, Bournemouth 0. That's still ongoing. Palace down to 10 men. West Ham still 1-0 up against Southampton at the London Stadium. And obviously here at Goodison Park, we've just seen Nico O'Reilly get a really big goal for City. In the context of European qualification, that is a really, really big goal. This was a must-win game, and it'll be a difficult pill to swallow for Everton fans to lose this one so late in the game. I think they've played quite admirably and probably were full value for the point, but look, either way, they've got the win. It's certainly looking like it. Oh, get in. Barcelona 3. Celta Vigo 3. That is what we wanted right there. Oh, do you know what's grim about that, though? Do you know what's really, really grim about that? I've got Barca or draw under 7 goals. I've got Barca or draw and under 7 goals in that game. So it's going to have to be a cash out, isn't it? It's going to have to be a cash out. There's no way there's not going to be another goal in that game. Oh, that's the worst thing that could have happened. The absolute worst thing. VAR are checking a goal as well there at Barca. Let's just have a quick check. Have they got it? Are they counting it? Yeah, it stands. I think that might have to be a cash out, I'm afraid. There's no way that I'm letting that run. There's no way Barca are not scoring again. Absolutely no way. Right, forgive me. I'm just... Kevin De Bruyne has just been subbed off for City. I'm just making sure that I've cashed out every single bet that's got Barcelona on, because there's no way they don't score again. I can't see them not scoring again. They are as well, aren't they? Moody. That's absolutely grim. Um, Come on. Right, there you go. I think that's it done. I think that's it done. Blur V Demon N666 hates me again. Good to have you in. Good to have you in the chat. We're in the 89th minute now. City are pushing forward for a second here. I told you, dude, 0-1 Man City goal. You did. You called it. Nico O'Reilly with a goal. He's been a great asset to City. A real find coming through from the academy, hasn't he? I thought he's been brilliant. When we saw him against Bournemouth in the Cup, I thought he was terrific then. Absolutely ran the show for City when he came on. And look at him popping up there from left back, popping up in the 6-yard box. You know, running across the centre half at the near post. Well, how often do you see your left back doing that? Great play by Doku, pulls it back. Oh, it's gone behind for a corner. There is a check here, maybe for a potential penalty to City. Let's just have a little check here. No, he's miles over the line there. That was out. That was out. It wasn't a check for the penalty. It was a check to see whether the ball... Well, it wasn't even a check. They can't check for that. But the ball had gone out. Doku had ran the ball out of play before he pulled the ball back in. It's it's been a really odd sort of game, to be honest. I know what you're saying about, you get the feeling that City are going to win and that you don't call it. Doku's caused Everton some problems since he's come on down this left hand side, or Everton's right hand side. Jake O'Brien hasn't really kept an eye on him. Here's Bernardo Silva down the right hand side. There's 5 minutes of added on time. We're obviously 1 minute into that. Bernardo Silva on the right flank. Everton have got a lot of bodies back. They're going to have to try and do something on the counter here. Oh, they've pushed forward. Comes all the way over to Doku somehow. Doku. Oh, it's a flick off Kovacic. It's 2-0. 2-0 to City. There you go. And that's the game done and dusted. The game's done. Kovacic. Mateo Kovacic with the goal. Off the bench with a winner. Well, a goal that secures the win for Manchester City. Big, big goal for Kovacic, that. A little bit fortunate as well, I would say, for Everton in that, or unfortunate for Everton in that the ball broke to Doku. It was just a nothing ball, really. Deflected off an Everton player. And let's just watch it back. It comes to Doku. Doku slides it in. And it lays off to Kovacic, and Kovacic with a shot. He slips, doesn't he? Does he slip? He slips at the edge of the area. It's like a tackle shot, that. That's a really good piece of play there. Gundogan with the shot, or with the layoff back, and Kovacic with the shot from the edge of the area, straight into the bottom of the... Yeah, Pickford, no chance. They're doing the Poznan. They're doing the Poznan in the away end. Oh, West Ham 1, Southampton 1 in the 94th minute. West Ham have threw it away. Goodness me. Oh, no. It's a point for Southampton at West Ham, and I think that point is actually quite important because I think that means they are equal now with Derby County in terms of... Oh, no, they're not equal. They need one more. They need one more point to be level with the worst Premier League side ever, Derby County. But it's 1-1. West Ham 1, Southampton 1. That's really unfortunate. I Can't believe I've not updated the scoreboard. I apologise. We've still not put the graphic up. 2-0 to City. Everton love rolling over for the Manx. Oh yeah, they love rolling over and having the belly tickled there. Disappointing that for Everton. Really disappointing. Here's Marmouche. They're just passing it around now and taking the time, City. Seeing the game out. Comes back to Jordan Pickford. Goodison Park has emptied. Goodison Park has absolutely emptied. Right, so as we approach the end of the game, as we approach full time, I just want to remind everyone, by the way, that we are sticking around for Aston Villa against Newcastle. If you fancy watching Aston Villa against Newcastle, make sure you stick around. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, whatever you're on, whatever you're watching this on, whether it be on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. I'm live across them all. I'm live across them all right now. X as well. I'm on Twitter. Search Premier League Dad. If you've not found me on any of those platforms, go and search me. Go and find. All the links are in my bio as well, in the description, wherever you're watching this. But we're live every single day. We're live every single day with football, streaming different matches from around the Premier League, Europe, and the European games as well through the week. It's full time here. It's finished. It's 2-0 to City. Full time. A big result for City, you've got to say as well. A really big result, that. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. But make sure you stick around for Aston Villa against Newcastle, because I get the feeling that one is going to be even bigger. It's going to be a massive game for both teams in the race for Europe. It's finished 0-0 at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Bournemouth 0. It's also about to finish at West Ham. That's going to be 1-1. West Ham and Southampton. Yep, that's blown up as well. So it's just Brentford and Brighton that are still ongoing. Brentford 3, Brighton 2. Who was it who scored for Southampton, by the way? Ugachukwu. Leslie Ugachukwu, on loan from Chelsea. Sticks it in the 94th minute to shock West Ham. Blue v Demon N66. I would think Aston Villa is going to play hard because they are at home, but Newcastle is very strong. Newcastle are in a really good run of form at the moment, and I think Villa, to be honest. Ooh, look at Pep Guardiola there having a chat and a smile with Jared Branthwaite. Everton fans won't like that. Everton fans will not like that. Going having a chat with the main centre back. I wonder if Jared Branthwaite could be tempted by a move to City this summer. I think they might need a new centre-back. John Stones is a little bit broken, isn't he? Ake, Akanji, they've kind of not had their issues with injuries this season. Would Jared Branthwaite be a good signing for Manchester City? They've already pinched an Everton centre-back and done quite well with it, haven't they? John Stones. So, yeah, look. What a game. What a game of football. What a result. Pep Guardiola just hugging his players on the pitch there. He's made up. He's delighted. And look at that. He's absolutely loving Nico O'Reilly there as well. He's even got a little moment for Jack Harrison there as well. Little chat, little chinwag with Jack Harrison. And there's a goal. There's a goal at Brentford. But it's not for Brighton. It's Brentford 4, Brighton 2. They must have pinched on the counter-attack. It's Christian Norgard, the captain. Oh, we definitely picked the wrong game today. We definitely picked the wrong game today. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've liked seeing Everton get beaten late in the day, but at Brentford, it's 4-2. Brentford 4, Brighton 2, and a red card in that game as well. João Pedro sent off for an elbow around the 60th minute. And that's going to have far-reaching complications in the Premier League. It really is. Brentford now up to 11th. 2 points behind Brighton, and due to Bournemouth dropping points at Selhurst Park, and obviously Fulham not playing yet, there's now just 3 points separating 11th and 8th. I mean, you could even extend that to Palace. There's only 5 points separating Palace in 12th and Bournemouth in 8th. I mean, that's going to be a big competition between those 4 or 5 teams, isn't it? Because 8th and 9th might yet get European football next season. Depending on what happens elsewhere, we need Palace not to win the FA Cup. I quite want Palace to win the FA Cup. But if Palace don't win the FA Cup, and Villa, Forest or City do, and those finish in the top 6, then a European place comes down another level, doesn't it? It drops another level to 8th, to 9th. So the Conference League and the Europa League will get passed down. And I think the same could be said for the Conference League if Chelsea were to win that. Is that right? Chelsea were to win the Conference League and they finish in a Europa League position or a Champions League position, then, they the position drops down again. So potentially 8th and 9th could have European football via the league this season. And Brentford really aren't far off that. Neither are Fulham, neither are Brighton, neither are Bournemouth. Maybe Palace with an outside chance too. But listen, we're about to wrap up for this game. I'm going to end the stream and I'll be starting another one in about 5 to 10 minutes for Aston Villa and Newcastle. That's the next game that we're going to be watching live in about... That kicks off at 5:30. The lineups are already out. So make sure you followed me. Make sure you subscribe, whatever platform you're on. Go and give us a like. Go and give us a follow. And I'll catch you in about 10 minutes or so for Aston Villa against Newcastle. Take it easy.